Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this week's London by Gaslight. A late Victorian age Vampire the Masquerade chronicle set in 1892. Awakening for the night in the city of London this week is Alistair from the Clan of Lamoon, portrayed by Tina. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor slumber. Hopefully. Gain a hunger.
Hopefully.
Eveline, the daughter of Cacophony, portrayed by Ms. Hartz. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor state. Wonderful. Aldrich of the Clan of Kings, portrayed by Bully from Tablegoth. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor state. Gain a hunger. Thurston of the Nosferatu, portrayed by Nitro Taipat. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor slumber. Wonderful. In the red corner, weighing in at 228 pounds, is the BTM champion belt holder, Sir Drake Burton from the Clan of the Beast, portrayed by Muck from the Boulette Club. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor slumber.
Not far off my actual weight. It's a good guess.
Oh. I don't even understand pans. Pans. I don't understand pans. Gain hunger. Let's see. We continue from where we... Yes?
Sorry, you may have said this and I missed it. Should we be reducing any of our hunger like we do on a weekly basis?
Yes. Fastcar! Hello, Fastcar. I always end up ignoring you in chat, so while we have this momentary break, I'm going to actually physically say it. Hello, gorgeous. We continue from where we left off last week. The Coterie are in a hidden underground lair. At the head of the room is a large marble slab with old dried bloodstains draining down. Overlooking the slab is a cross with a naked three-eyed man nailed in place. A piece of large wood protrudes from his chest. As the Coterie enter, their guide folds his hands in front of him, and with a warm smile is glazed upon his face. This is our place of worship, in service of our patron. Welcome.
Point to the nailed down. Is that always here?
It is a symbol of all things that are not welcome within this place. It is a testament to the power we have. We do not allow such abominations within here. A problem, I'm sure, we do not have to worry about with you.
I hold a handkerchief up to my mouth.
So I can get the sort of idea of what I'm getting myself into here. You mind running by me the what you mean when you say the sort of things you don't allow?
Monsters. People of the undead. Those of a supernatural origin. Our patron wants us to be free, and for only the living. An admirable goal, is it not?
I cast Blush of Life.
Do a rouse check for me, please.
What? We know what's going on the permitted list.
It's like the thought that someone thinks I'm a slut, like I've got that much of a choice.
Just...
Is that everyone who wants to cast Blush of Life done? Casting Blush of Life?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, Alistair would. He's walking nervously around, like whistling, though. So I would cast it.
Okay, do a rouse check for me, please. Gain
Oh
a hunger.
boy.
This person I'm speaking to, how far away from us is he?
Oh, just a few feet. They're not practicing social distancing in the Victorian age. Everyone's filthy as fuck.
No.
But he's
If he
not quite a
gets in
close
it-
talker.
Yeah, if he gets in any closer or tries to inspect me until I'll do it then, blush of life, like reflecting me.
So, you say this individual was a monster. From what I understand from the storybooks, monsters take many forms. What exactly kind of monster was this one?
He walks among the people. He looks like the people, but as you can plainly see, he is not of a normal disposition. The third eye is the clear giveaway in his case. Our patron was very welcoming, and we brought him a very swift death, as you can see, upon the wooden stake impaled in his chest.
You said he's naked, right?
Yes. Do you
Okay,
need an
I
arousal
understand all
check?
that, but do you... I understand all that, but do you... Does that have to be hanging out?
Of
No.
course. It is the bearing of guilt.
Yeah, but there's women here, like...
Indeed. Goodness gracious.
If the male phallus is going to unnerve you, then what transpires tonight is going to absolutely chill you to your core.
But it doesn't unnerve me. I was trying to say...
Quick
Like
question. Quick question, storyteller. Has Jack the Ripper happened yet?
Yes.
I forget when.
Last
Yeah, it
year.
has, okay, so- cool. Okay.
Just don't ask me why I know this.
Because I can refer to it. That's why. When you speak of monsters, let's take for example that horrible Ripper business last year. Would that fall into your category?
He was not found.
I understand, but let me broach you with a hypothetical. Let's say you did find him.
Yes.
Would you have done the same to him as you did to, and I gesture to the...
If he was one of the supernatural, if our patron had instructed us so, then yes.
And if he wasn't, if he was human?
Then it would depend on what our patron instructed us to do.
Are we going to meet this patron this evening?
Our patron is the form of Mithras, though his true name is unknown to us. Come. You are just in time, though, to watch one of the many aspects of change we practice. Though few survive this process, those that do are stronger. The crowd begins to form around the marble table at the front. The Coterie take places in the crowd, at the head of the room. A man steps out from under the cross, and 4 people stand in each corner of the room as the proceedings unfold. The man stands with his arms outstretched, as another of the crowd stands forward and lays on the slab. The standing man produces a scalpel, and runs it over the man's cheek. As blood seeps over the man's flesh, the surgeon, such that he is, eases a piece of silver into his skin. He takes his time, repeating the process on each of the man's cheeks. The man is still breathing, but clearly strained and in pain. The surgeon runs his hand down the subject's arm, and taking long, sharp pieces of wire, begins to ease them slowly underneath the fingernails of the man, one by one. He slowly jams several pieces of wire into the man's thumbnail, repeating the process for each finger and hand. It is only until both hands are nothing more than protruding metal wires does the man stop, and the coterie can see the man has died on the table as blood flows freely along the wires and drips onto the floor.
Thank God.
This sacrifice was performed in the service and honor of our Lord, a life for a life, and we will only know in time if the sacrifice is accepted. A rapturous round of applause flows through the crowd. They bow to the table and begin to mingle amongst themselves.
I'm gonna go over to Sir Drake and, as quiet as I can, just say, "That was murder." There's quicker ways to kill somebody.
Scouts in the Americas, the settlers would often do that to the natives to get them to forcibly give up information of their allies, their villages, any war parties that lay in wait. Quite effective, but here it just seems unnecessary. I mean, comparatively speaking, there's nothing to be gained except bizarre enjoyment.
Ritual.
Sadistic.
And they invoke his name. Say they fear those that walk the night. Well, keep your guard up and be ready to cut and run, so to speak. I turn to look across the rest of the room. Other than the person we were speaking to earlier on, is there anyone else that looks important?
The 4 people in each corner of the room haven't moved. They grab your attention.
I would like to go over to the dead body on the slab and subtly inspect it while singing a funeral dirge very low.
You don't need to roll for that. The man died clearly in pain. He appears, for every sense of the word, human.
Yeah, if he died that way, yeah. I'm gonna walk up to somebody, just somebody random, not important. Say, so, when do we celebrate?
The celebration has ended.
Oh,
We will find
Okay.
out over the course of the night if the sacrifice was successful, if our Lord and Patron will bless us.
and if he doesn't?
Then it is an honor to have laid down a life and sacrifice in his name.
Oh, but nothing happens. Okay. Sorry, I'm new here. I bow and leave.
So Drake, what are you up to?
Gonna go over to Thurston. How many in this room are like us? Can you tell?
Let's I don't know how to describe this, but I can only do it on one person at a time.
Hmm.
It's not really something I can scan the room for.
What about one of those chaps in the corner? That gesture to each of the 4 that storyteller mentioned earlier.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pick a random one of the 4, and I'm gonna cast Sense the Beast on.
Show me Sense of Beast.
Make sure. There it is.
Okay. Do resolve animalism, please.
While this is happening, I'm going to walk up to Sir Drake and say, careful with that.
That is a success.
Okay.
As Thurston casts his undead powers upon one of the guards, he notices a change, as it slowly changes into a very tall, extremely powerful, wide hybrid of a man and wolf. Each one in turn in the corner also changes. They begin sniffing the
Leave.
air.
Leave. I start trying to
You
leave.
saying that aloud?
Yeah, I'm like not even hesitating. I'm out of there.
Petition for Miss Hartz to spend the rest of the session in that angle.
I'm having a slight
Denied.
technical difficulty here.
Yeah, so Drake's heard the stories from his time traveling the Americas, so he is going to follow Alistair's suit. Never should be the hasty retreat.
That's no
I
problem.
make like Homer Simpson and get the fuck out through some bushes.
That's no problem.
Yeah.
You will manage to make your way out.
I
With
think
other
Aldrich
members
would
of the
linger. I don't think he's been told that much about them, and this is fascinating, honestly. He probably would have been near the body with Eveline escorted her to that, but yeah, would have slowly. I especially watching and see, is anyone else reacting to this?
Various members of the crowd.
Mm.
There is seems to be a split. Some are running away. Others are standing where they were, completely unsurprised.
Oh, I know what's happening.
I will say, I think it's only fair to say, if you do stay near the sacrificial altar, that's probably the worst move.
Yeah, I think he would have watched for a moment and then slowly realized everyone else was gone out of the coterie, and that's when he would have taken his leave. But he would have lingered as long as he could before slipping out.
That's fine. You hear
Oops.
various
I played with him.
stomps. You hear various stomps behind you. Members of the crowd behind, you can hear in awe, shock, and one of them giving screams of pain. Manage to make your way out onto the streets of London once more. Barely.
That was amazing. I mean, terrifying, but amazing. That's ingenious what they're doing.
What does exactly are they doing? Was that what I think it was?
Yeah, but that was them pretending that their prayers were answered.
So are they just slaughtering people in there? What is the point? Just to turn and kill people?
I'm not in there to see. How many did they kill?
Does not sound good. You said it sounds like carnage, right?
It did sound like carnage. I apologize for lack of background, but Roll20 is being a cunt.
Yeah, I'm not getting any sounds from Roll20. Even though I just restarted my browser, I'm getting sounds from everything else, but not roll 20.
I,
Me neither.
not right now. We heard the awoo.
I didn't hear the owl.
I mean,
There's some gross transforming noises too.
what better way to feed your friends than convince them that if they sacrifice somebody, their prayers will be answered, and then all of a sudden, man wolf.
Do you know about these things? What would they live among us? What do they want?
Know about them? I don't know much. I know they're scary.
Yeah, it's kind of what I know about them too, right? You know that they don't like us, and there's a good reason why we should be afraid of them. At least in low numbers.
I mean, they're more beast than him. And I point to surgery.
It's fair. It's a strange coincidence I mentioned my time in the Americas earlier, because that's where I first heard of them. Terrifying beasts. Powerful enough to make a prince pause. Some of them.
Seems another enemy that our society simply tolerates. Then
I don't think we have much of a choice there. They invoked Mithras' name. That looked baffling.
I was thinking that as well.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like something that Mithras would be involved in.
It might be worth. You'd normally be loath to purposefully bring myself any closer to anyone that would consider themselves even in Mithras' outer circle, but it might be worth letting somebody know.
I would think
Someone's carrying out things in his name.
we're like in the city, right?
Mhm.
Like we're not on the outskirts.
Correct.
I would think it's probably wise to let somebody know that at least 4 of them are here.
Mhm.
We aren't talking our way out of this. I mean, if we get to scuffle with that, I don't think we're fighting our way out of it either.
Oh.
What a great tactic.
You will notice. By
Imagine
the way,
what
that
we
dawn
could
is
do.
approaching.
The what's approaching?
if we had one on our side, though.
Hmm.
You already have a dog.
I do, and I love Durston dearly.
I don't. Were you listening when Thurston said that they don't like us?
Nobody likes us. I'm not used to people liking me. I'm used to people doing what I tell them.
This is a very different kind of Shiv, I would assume that I know the basics of werewolves from just Nosferatu information, right?
And a dot of academics.
And a dot of academics, yeah.
Yeah. Basics being run the fuck away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I pointed at.
mhm. It's less of conversationally don't like us. They literally would go out of their way to hunt us down if they sense we're around.
I gesture proudly.
So they are
when,
just a bit higher on the chain than us. So we should go
Well,
higher on the chain than them. Yes?
Most of us.
Ooh, we should find the ferry.
I have an idea. How far are we from this place?
What from the place you were just in?
Well, I assume we ran out to the street. I don't know how far.
I imagine we've just we've picked direction and just kept walking to put distance between us and wherever this is as we speak.
I mean, those of us that know probably were, whether or not Aldrich followed, but
Yeah, I'll be following along. I'm going to attempt something. I should probably do it on my own. Okay, I do not want to get all of you killed because of this.
wait, you're gonna die?
Probably not.
If you do, can I have your dog?
Yes.
You can't say something like that and expect me to just walk off.
Aldrich will turn on his heel and begin heading back towards that location.
Okay. You will fight your way through strangely busy crowds, most of which you recognize from being in the demon worshipping lair.
Aldrich knows. He saw these as people, so they're not always like that. If you get them as people or get them to stay as people or get one... He's too curious with the experiments he's been doing. So once he's a little bit closer, he's going to say the words he's been saving for a priest.
Ah,
He
you're
got
summoning.
from, uh-huh.
This doesn't sound like a good idea.
Oh, this sounds like an incredible idea. You shut your mouth.
If anyone can have a power over a creature of change, it is a demon of change.
This is Aldrich's cupcake.
Okay, you say the words, and you realize that, of course, the demon is in your head listening. What are your instructions?
What is working?
Would like one. For myself. For us. We can serve you as creatures of the night. Wouldn't you like something on a leash to serve you during the rest of the time?
Well, roll 20 is going to be a cunt. Again, what a surprise.
I heard it.
You hear it,
Am I
Aldrich?
hearing anything?
He
No.
said this is worthless to me.
Mm-hmm.
What about the sacrifice?
This is worthless to me.
If it's saying stuff, I'm not hearing anything. I keep refreshing, but nothing.
Try Control F5 to delete the cookies.
It could just be roll 20 just being a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
try.
I can just
See
hear the
the-
beeps. Like whenever a message goes through, I hear that little beep sound.
I heard him say no, and that was it.
Same. What's the gist he's saying? No, not taking it.
Basically,
He
yeah.
said this is worthless to me.
But
Then,
that was when you
yeah.
asked if it wanted it.
Aldrich will not push it any further than that, and then. Although, if I recognize other people running away from the that I recognize from also within this, you said some of the people running were from inside.
Yep.
I'm gonna try to grab one and look at them if possible.
Yeah, that's no problem. I don't think you need to roll for that either. You'd be easily able to overpower a mortal.
Yeah, just look at them. Mesmerize. Follow me.
Yep, no roll needed. Unprepared. The mortal glosses over, stares at you, and begins to follow you.
Long story short, I'm gonna drop them off at the one of the places my gang is at. And tell them to keep this person safe until the next evening, where I will have some questions for them.
No problem. And with that, you should probably all retire to your respective havens for the night. And awaken, fresh, undead, the very next night.
Respective havens or the house?
You'll be going to the house. You can't resist it at this point.
But the room's nice.
Yeah, you got a lovely room. The very next night, there it is. Sir Drake makes his way to the outskirts of London. Before the Coterie gather entirely, he affords himself a trip to meet with his sister. The carriage ride through the city takes its time to travel there, but the night is currently clear and still. Drake feels at ease despite the gaslights and intruding signs of the human race advancing in leaps and bounds. As Drake loses himself in thought, remembering his travels of the world, the city fades to blackness until the carriage finally stops outside a large detached house. Sir Drake instructs the driver to wait for his return as he exits and approaches the front door of the house, readying himself to talk with his sister.
I'd have tried to feed before I went there with my hunger after I rose, just because.
Yeah, that's fine. Do your hunger roll for me, and we'll say you had a stopped bite on the way.
Yeah. Rather than
Right
risk
through.
anything happening. Yeah. There we go. Where's my feet? There it is.
Would you like to stick with it, or would you like a reroll?
No, that'll be okay.
Unfortunately, you are unable to find anyone wandering the streets in either a suitable manner or quiet enough, and you are unable to find prey upon which to feed.
Yeah. All right, never mind. So I'm outside my sister's house, presumably.
Yep. Knocking on the door?
Yeah.
The door opens with a click, and the familiar face of his sister stands before him. A brief moment of shock fills her face as she recognizes her brother. Brother dear, I had heard you returned from your travels, but I was unable to find you at the estate. When I came, I found it deserted. Is all well with you?
Fine. It's good to see you're in apparently good spirits. I'm looking at her like, she look okay, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Went by the estate. It's not fit for habitation. I happened upon some friends in my travels, and they've put me up while I look into getting the estate restored. It's going to be a long-term project. So.
That is pleasing to hear, and of course I'm well. Roger cares for me. He looks after me, though some nights he does seem more distant than once he used to. But he assures me it is only related to his work. All I know is that he works for Queen and Country and takes his duty very seriously. That is all a lady need know of her husband's affairs, after all.
Roger, between you and I, sister, everything okay when he's home?
When he is home, yes. But I pry not into his work life. A wife's role to her husband lies in the house. I remember well the lessons I was taught.
As long as he's treating you well.
When he's here, he treats me as well as any husband should treat his wife.
If you ever want to look me up, just the people I'm staying with are quite particular about our living arrangement. Forgive me if I can't just... The address they probably wouldn't approve. They don't like callers, but if you do want to speak with me, just leave a message. The old post box outside the estate. I'll be sure to pick it up. I'll check regularly.
Of course, brother, I thank you, but I don't mean to be rude. I would invite you in, but I expect Roger back any moment now, and I'm not sure I would be able to explain your presence to him so easily. You have something of a reputation as a cad and a bounder after absconding and gallivanting around the world, you see.
Rather a cad and a bounder than, well, what men get up to when they are given carte blanche by rank and duty is perhaps best saved from your ears. I've met men, titled men, with less honor than, well, those that sleep rough. Just do stay in touch.
I shall try, brother, and should you feel the need to visit me again, please let me know somehow beforehand, so I might either arrange with Roger first or ensure that he is absent.
I think I would very much like to meet this Roger if his schedule permits.
Perhaps, but I warn you, though, that he may not take too kindly to you. He is a very gentlemanly man, and does not abandon his duties or his family. He takes both very seriously.
Need I remind you our father squandered what was left of our estate?
He did, but I was still given a modest amount of savings in his will. Savings which now belong to Roger. He didn't ask for them. I felt it was merely my duty to share them with him.
Interesting. Well, if Roger's walking around with my birthright, then I think I really do need to speak to him, don't I?
If it was your birthright, then surely it was important enough for you to stay in the country and collect it.
It wasn't my choice to leave. I don't know what Father told you.
Father told me that he was unable to send you your inheritance, as guineas are not acceptable currency in Outer Mongolia, wherever that is.
Sounds like an excuse to me, but I won't argue. I'm not here to argue with you, sister. It is good to see you. I have matters to attend to that will hopefully further the restoration of the estate. Perhaps your Roger will see me in a better light once he sees I've restored our name after our father tarnished it.
Perhaps.
I'll bid you good evening.
But as you well know, the son inherits the father's reputation.
Known reputation. I wonder what Roger's father did to earn his silver spoon for him.
His father was a doctor for the Queen.
The royals. Noble. Accounts. No, unless you believe the rumors, but I'm not here to gossip either. I've disturbed you. I should go.
I think that best, brother dear, but it was a relief to see you in good health, though you do look somewhat pale.
Just getting over a touch of malaria, my dear. Nothing to worry. I'll be fine.
Malaria? Is that like tuberculosis?
Comparable, but with the right knowledge, treatable. It's nothing I have to worry about. Just have to make sure I'm eating right, that's all.
Well, I'm glad you're looking after yourself at least.
And you. My post box is, well, you know where to find it. You can send a courier.
I'm sure I'll put
Speak to you again
something.
soon.
I'm sure I'll put a note to meet you in your mail slot soon.
I just quick nod and head back to the carriage.
Sir Drake heads back into London, and as he does so, he notices a storm begin to brew. Meanwhile, in the Whitechapel house, after Sir Drake manages to make his way back, Aldrich, Eveline, and Thurston have awoken from their torpid state in their respective rooms. They each dress themselves and head out, taking the elegant stairs down and meet in the hallway together to discuss their plans for the night, knowing they should head to Elysium to meet with Alistair. Is there anything you wish to talk about before you head out?
Before we met in the hallway, you would have heard Eveline doing scales to warm up her voice in the morning.
As she comes out. It was a rather lovely warm up, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I warm my voice up every morning. Evening much. Evening.
I do hope you've been keeping up that sword play aside your vocal training.
Aim for the jugular, right?
Well, if you ever want to get more advanced than that, just let me know.
Excuse me if this is a rude question, but Miss Eveline, do you ever entertain with your voice, or is it just simply a hobby of yours? I'm not sure if that is beneath you or not, or something you enjoy.
Oh no, I am a professional.
Why is it you do not perform more regularly then?
Actually, that is one of my goals. I used to until my embrace. And my goal is to visit some more theater owners and get back to the stage.
If that is something you're interested in, why not allow me to purchase a theater for you?
Well, who would run the theater?
I can find someone suitable. With your permission, of course, you would have final say.
Yes.
I know good art or good entertainment when I experience it, but I'm not sure I know how to curate it. So I would need help in that. But I really do see you on a stage in a respectable establishment.
That
While
would be
our,
lovely. I could headline every night.
We'll look into it then. Well, our current businesses are doing well, of course. I think it is about time to maybe branch out into something a little more highbrow.
Mm.
I entirely agree. I am fully behind this venture.
Perhaps something that caters to our kind.
Of course, the performances would have to be in the evening, so
Get the Camarilla to endorse it, and well, you may have yourself quite the earner.
the hope. And of course, maybe in exchange, you can. There's so much I don't know. Not only about our world as creatures of the night, but your world as a proper woman of London. Said I was quite secluded in my upbringing. I was taught what you're supposed to do, but I have much to learn, and I would like to learn the ins and outs of high society from one who, such as yourself.
It would be my pleasure. You are such a gentleman already.
And do what I can. I will get some of my people on it immediately. But first, we should meet up with the rest.
Is this upstairs in the hallway between rooms that you guys are having this conversation?
If you're there, I imagine it would have been when we all sort of congregated, getting ready to leave. So you probably would have been
Okay.
there as well if you wanted to be.
No, I was just I'll come down the stairs now. You all are talking about fine arts, and you did not include me. I'm a little hurt.
What is your specialty?
I love the physical art. Have you looked into my room? The homeowner here has graciously decorated it with some of my favorite paintings.
That was good to know too. We have quite a few respectable, talented people here. I think we really can do something to really establish ourselves in society then. Thurston, I would love to have your eye to decorate. I understand art is a very, very good investment as well. A bit more stable than what I usually deal with.
Well, as we both know, Aldrich, you'll always have my eye.
Good. But of course. Are you a curator, or do you create art yourself, Thurston?
Merely an entrepreneur and curator of the sorts. I do not have any physical talent for it.
Yes, I would love to have you involved. Theater must be properly decorated with expensive and fashionable art to show our status.
The paintings in your room are quite lovely.
Thank you. I quite enjoy them as well. I never expected our house or our esteemed host to have such fine taste in art.
I believe he knows our mind. So if you have fine taste in art, that means it has fine taste.
That's
in
true.
art.
Well, if you're planning on putting together some sort of establishment and generating a fair amount of coin, you could always pay me to kill whoever tries to steal it.
I would be happy to do so.
Perhaps you could be in charge of security.
Light titles. Yeah,
Well, you can't kill
incredible
everyone
things.
yourself.
I think it's
Challenge
quite
me,
capable
dear.
of doing so.
Yeah, please don't challenge me, dear. I'm very hungry.
Something we can discuss in length later, but I did not know everyone would be so interested in this, but I would be very happy to accept all of your help. And of course, compensate you appropriately.
be most
I'm
efficient.
sure our other coterie members would want to get involved. Although I'm not sure how.
We could allow
Sure, why we'd
Alistair to
need-
sell tickets at the front booth.
He did do a
I think
very good
that-
job holding my wig. Perhaps he can work the coat room.
There we go.
Well, every court needs a jester. Let's go see ours. I'll head to the carriage.
Go as well.
Yeah, I'll follow.
The Coterie step out onto the street, and it's only then they notice the storm outside is of exceptional strength. Distant thunderclaps can be heard as the heavy rain torrents down into the streets, running into fast-flowing small rivers that gush down the cobbled streets.
Can I bring an umbrella?
Wouldn't help. Heavy, noisy
Yeah, but
winds
can I bring
blow
one?
through the... Yeah. Heavy, noisy winds blow through the air like a banshee's scream. As they exit, Thurston notices a small bottle with a note attached to it, marked for Thurston with a small C underneath. Yes.
And
Talking
Wait, before we
banshees.
leave, I run back to my room and put on the galoshes.
I'm sorry, I missed everything but that last bit. What's marked with a C?
A small bottle with a note attached
Gotcha.
for you with a small C underneath.
Okay. Gotcha.
Is there anything you wish to discuss in the carriage ride?
I knew probably when they stepped outside, so Drake would have noticed the storm and then literally just turned his collar up a bit, and that's it. We'll get him.
Heading to Elysium then?
I'll let the since we're one down and it's storming, I'll let Durston ride inside the carriage with us this time.
Where's his
Anyone?
friend?
He came down with something. It was ill. I think it will make a full recovery though once they're in a perfect condition. I believe that you would make a great owner. I do not have the time or resources for 2 dogs.
Well, I can't wait to meet him.
That worked. The Coterie enter into Elysium. Although they have only just entered, they can already sense the tense atmosphere in the air from the noticeably smaller crowd than usual. As the group enter, they can see Alistair, sat at a large table with Dirk. As they enter, Dirk rises from his seat and beckons the new arrivals over. Thanks, Roll20, for not working this week. Heading over to
The chap
Dirkus.
that makes me look like a ray of sunshine. Good evening, Dirk.
Good evening, all. Let us not waste any time and get straight to business. Please, be seated.
Do we ever do anything? Take a seat.
Okay, I'm also going to refresh now.
Same.
As usual, I wait for my chair to be pulled out and then I take a seat.
And
I lean over to
as
Thurston
usual,
and say, "You think that thing could make you all be on time?"
Oh, we got in the most wonderful conversation you'll have to hear about later. And I'll do my usual bow and sit down.
There was another bump in the night, as they have now been termed. Once more, kine were woken up and some elder kindred heard screaming. This one seems to have been smaller than the original one, as this one had a very limited effect, localized to the South Bank area in the city of London itself. The storm that is currently ravaging the city seems likely to be tied to the event this time. Also, since the storm started as soon as the bump finished, and has been raging for some days and nights now with no sign of abating. Since the storm began, there was also a strange spat of sightings of some unknown creature. It will no doubt cause a breach in the Masquerade. As you are kindred of a younger generation, and will not have been affected by the bump, we have decided to send you to investigate. The creature has not left the South Bank area, and we have contained 2 buildings on opposite sides of the streets, one of which has the creature trapped inside. We are unsure exactly which building the creature is in, so I suggest your coterie be split up as to deal with the creature in a timely fashion. Once the creature has been disposed of, ensure that there will not be a repeat of the incident. Track it back to its origins. We have arranged a carriage to take you to the site. It awaits you outside.
What nature of creature is this?
We do not know. It has murderous intent.
Are we simply to murder it in exchange?
Destroy the creature and track it back. Ensure it will not be a repeat incident.
Simple enough.
Can I just stay here?
No.
Not that much of a coward.
No, I'm not scared. I just don't know how to fight.
For the juggler.
What? My shoe?
Jugular.
Well,
Don't wear
let
shoes
us
on
be
your
on our
feet.
way then. And then we can discuss how to strategize on the way.
Mm,
Unless, of course, someone needs to feed.
Not
yeah, I
here.
need to try again.
Yep.
Yeah, so Drake, you said you were quite hungry tonight.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need any particular prey, so finding someone is no issue. But if you just do your feeding roll for me, please.
Oh,
Wonderful.
Oh, thank God.
So Drake manages to find one of the kine on his way out. They practically throw themselves at him as he extends his fangs and sinks them deep into their flesh, drawing out their precious blood and slaking to hunger. The kine lets out a pleasurable sigh and sits down with a small smile on their face.
After I've fed, I will try and heal a point.
Do a rouse check for me, please. Wonderful. Heal 1.
Right.
And
Oh,
everyone
I'm
heading
back up
to...
half health.
You're going to need it. And everyone
Mm.
heading out to the Camarilla carriage provided. Anything... Aldrich?
I'd like to stop by my establishment to feed on the way.
Okie dokie. Oh, that works. Master Aldrich, a pleasure to see you this night. Quite the storm we're having, isn't it? Your usual room?
Yes, please.
Is it
Is
just yourself?
Eveline feeding as well?
I would go along, but I'm not feeding.
Just yourself and
He's a
your
drug addict,
charming
after.
female companion.
Yes, we're here for the usual.
Of course. Please,
None for me tonight, thanks.
as you wish, mistress. And he leads you through the common folk, around the back and into your very lavish, decorated room with silk pillows and satin cushions. You have the... Yep, I remember. Would you care for male or female companionship this night, sir?
Whatever is available. I'm in a bit of a hurry.
As you wish. And he disappears.
Young, handsome male.
A young, handsome male. The lady prefers to watch, I guess.
Not a problem, sir. And he returns moments later with a young, handsome, nubile male, dressed only in a loincloth.
Easy access? Yeah, I'm gonna... I just need a slake 1.
Do your feeding roll for me, please. The man is, of course, high on opium. That's fine. Aldrich entices the young man to sit between him and Eveline. He does so, staring intently at Eveline. Taking advantage of his distraction, Aldrich extends his fangs and sinks them deep into the flesh of the young man, slaking his hunger for 2, and quenching his hunger for opium that courses through his prey's veins. You may slake 2 hunger and add an extra die to any pool of your choosing.
Alright, we'll hop back in the carriage and be on our way.
Is there anything you wish to discuss upon your journey?
Yeah, when they get back in, Alistair would be banging his head against the side of the carriage. You all really have to waste my time for everything?
You could come in
sorry?
too.
Why?
Okay.
Come sit and wait there. I wait in here. I wait at Elysium. I wait here while you all feed. I wait while you all do other things. Like,
Just talk to the voices in your head.
You should pride yourself on being very efficient with your VTech.
or I just do it when you're not around, so you're not waiting on me.
I apologize. I have become quite accustomed to people waiting on me. But
Yeah,
that
I'm
was
not your
rude.
servant.
You're right. Yet there you are. But yes, we should proceed. I'm not sure how we want to divide and conquer, as it was suggested.
Joke here about the Camarilla having worse upfront intelligence than the British Navy, but might be lost on the rest of you. It's bloody awful. We don't know what we're fighting.
To use
We don't
their
know what-
carriage.
That is odd. The fact that they insisted we investigate both buildings at once, I feel like one at a time at their full strength would be a better strategy. I'm not sure if it was a suggestion or an order.
Well, someone dear to me reminded me very recently that I'm both a scoundrel and a cad, so what do you say that we ignore that order and tackle this as we bloody well like?
I mean, what does it matter? He's trapped anyways.
What was the sense we got from that? What was it? They have a reason for telling us to do it that way, or is that just sort of an offhand comment they made of a possibility?
I would say that if Dirk tells you to split the party, you split the party. As he is the voice of the Camarilla. And thus the fucking storyteller.
I see. So we're splitting the party.
Yes, I don't want to have to explain why we did this or that, even though they should just be worried about the results. But since when is the Camarilla that straightforward about anything?
Well, the good news is there's only 5 of us, so I'll wait here and you can split up into 2 groups of 2.
But Alistair, you were just sitting there talking about how you don't like waiting on us.
Oh no, this isn't me waiting on us. This is me not dying.
Actually, Alistair, you might be our greatest weapon here.
Don't pull that stuff at the time. Not the time.
We have no idea what we're walking into, and you have the uncanny ability to be able to... You see what we don't?
I put my head down, stomp the bottom of the thing. Damn you, sir.
I tell you what, you, do whatever it is you do. Pretend I understand it, but I trust your ability to do so. And if it's big enough and scary enough, you can stay by the carriage.
Well, but hold on a second, though, because just because I can do it doesn't mean it can't see me. Might I remind you of Valerius?
Okay, so you best stick with the big scary man with the sword then.
Oh, I'm going with you? Okay, I'm fine.
Aldrich, don't take this the wrong way, but I think we should split up.
No, that makes the most sense.
Yeah, I was going to suggest the same.
I have Durston with me, of course, so I would just need one other.
I'll be fine with sticking by your side.
Very well. Myself, Durston, and Thurston will enter one building. Sir Drake, Alistair, and the Lady Eveline will go into another.
Alright, just, if you encounter something in there, Aldrich, and it's something you don't understand, don't throw yourself at it like you threw yourself at me.
Oh, I got an idea.
Okay.
If we find it, Eveline can scream real loud and you'll hear it and run over.
That is a good idea.
Actually, I don't
But
have to scream very loud. I can still call for you.
Oh, even better.
And if we run into it, listen to the sound of a Thurston screaming, that means we're in trouble.
It won't be as loud or as pretty, but you'll hear it.
You'll hear that the gurgle. No, I will have Durston begin barking.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Please, Snow, you fucked me up because this is not exactly how I thought you'd split the party.
Really?
Yeah.
You're want us to split the party.
I mean, you had to have known that Aldrich and Drake were not going to be in the same party.
Yes.
Okay.
I was expecting you to take Thurston. But that's fine.
We are taking Thurston.
No,
He's in
I'll just
Aldrich's party.
Yeah, Aldrich's taking Thurston.
Oh,
Aldrich's taking Thurston and Durston.
yeah. I see. I'm following.
Aldruston is taking Thurston and Durston.
Thurston volunteered. Feel much more comfortable with Eveline and her screaming powers, but this way seems fun.
I'm gonna kill roll 20.
She didn't even have to choose.
The Coterie's carriage enters into South Bank as a noise of spatter of rain impacts the sound of the window. The horses seem disturbed, but focus on their journey as they carve their path through the torrential rain, broken only by the howls of wind and occasional thunderclap, which you can clearly hear now because roll 20 would never break on me. The carriage makes its way through the empty streets of the South Bank. Clearly, whatever the Camarilla are doing to maintain the masquerade is working, as the streets are devoid of all activity. The carriage comes to an eventual stop outside a large detached townhouse, with another on the exact opposite side of the street.
As we're walking, I stop for a second. This is really good. This is really good weather to commit murder. And then I keep walking.
You say that to everyone?
Whoever's with me, if we're all together, if we're split up, yeah, I just say it out loud, just randomly.
I can't imagine we've split quite yet.
I'll turn to Thurston at this. Have I just not been paying attention, or does he say things like that more often than I'm realizing?
It's becoming a little bit more apparent. It's a little worrisome. At first,
Curious.
I just thought it was Malk things, but because I don't know many Malks to know the difference, but who knows?
Noted. So we're here. Is there a clear difference between the two buildings, or
They're basically like mirror opposites.
well, latest choice?
I'll take that one. And I point to the one on the right.
So it's Eveline, Alistair, and Sir Drake.
Mm-hmm.
Watch me fuck this up.
Sound it.
Alistair, Eveline, and Sir Drake enter into the empty house. As they cross the threshold, the door slams shut behind them, and as they turn to look, they only notice then that there is no doorknob, and seemingly no way of opening the door.
I
I
cast
assume
silence
that
at
was
that.
enough for me to be invited in.
I cast silence at death
That's pretty.
for now. Yeah. So, what's the plan? I thought we were going to talk about that on the way over here.
Eveline pulls out her scissors and says, "Aim for the jugular."
Just not draws the sword, but just thumb loosens it, ready for the quick draw.
Yep.
What do we see in the immediate?
You see a set of stairs that lead up, and a corridor to your left. To your right, there is nothing but a plain wall.
I have an idea. Oh, so Miss Eveline, do you have a coin?
I do, but I don't get it out.
I can go scout. Give me the coin. If I get in trouble or I see something, I'll drop it and you'll hear the clink. I know you can't see me when I'm doing.
She reluctantly gets out a coin and hands it to him.
If I live, you can have
Just
it back.
1 pence.
Yeah. Well, go on, turn around. I can't do this while you're looking.
So modest.
Are you armed at all?
With what? What? I don't know how to. No?
I expected him to say, "Yes, I have two."
Alistair isn't fish.
Cain and Lilith.
Shit.
No, remember rock and paper?
So Drake will take the Webley service revolver from the inside of his coat. Look, you might not be a crack shot, but that'll make a loud enough noise to bring us running. Hand you the gun.
Shiver. The unseen passage doesn't make this go invisible, though, does it?
If you're holding it, yeah.
Oh, it does? Okay.
Cool.
I look at it. I pointed at Sir Drake for a second. I look.
Let's go.
Technically, when you use the obfuscate powers, you're not actually going invisible. It's like
Yeah,
a Jedi mind
you're-
trick.
Yeah.
Looking past you.
Perception check.
I lay it on the ground. I hand the pence back to Eveline. I pick it up and say, "Okay, now don't look."
Leaves a
I
rouse
cast
check.
unseen passage.
Rouse check for unseen passage.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yes, one rouse check then for me, please. Wonderful.
Okay, I'm going upstairs now.
Alistair, Thurston, and Durston. Not Alistair.
Aldrich.
Thurston, and Durston.
We're all split up. Wait, what?
He's switching over to the other group now.
Oh, okay. You just said Al.
I know. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. I'm in a state of confusion. That's kind of my characters.
Because you held the wig last week, and now.
I understand. Yeah, we look similar. Yeah,
Yeah.
same speech pattern, everything.
Heading
So,
into
I
the
think-
other house. Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Carry on.
Oh no, I assumed we were in the house already.
The front door creaks open into a tidy, furnished hallway. A few candles have been lit in the entryway, providing a vague amount of light. The hallway has a corridor that splits off to the right, and a set of stairs that lead up. The wall to your immediate left is plain.
So I figured we were going to talk about this on the way over here, but what's the plan?
Thurston, since it's just me, you, and the dog, be as upfront about this as we need to be, really. Actually, it
That's
works
why
out
he
quite
didn't
nice
want
for
her
me.
coming.
All right, we find the thing, and then me and the dog fuck it up, and hopefully you don't get too hurt in the process.
Yeah, how are you feeling from last week? You guys kind of went all at it.
Oh, I feel great.
Okay, that's fair.
Finding the thing might rely on you for the actual snooping part of this. That's what you're good at, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm going deep into a Brooklyn accent for some reason. For some reason, or for right now, I can't turn invisible like Alistair can, but I can try and be as quiet as possible when I'm looking around.
I am not the most quiet myself, so it's all right. We just need to find the thing if it's hiding. Well, there's candles, so it looks like someone's home. All right. You want to let's head down the corridor first and see what we got. Send the dog first. I'll have Durston go ahead down the corridor to the right. We'll follow.
Would you like to follow the dog into the first room?
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Silence to Death
Yeah, that's great.
as well.
The group enter into a room with seemingly discarded pots and pans strewn all about. What appears to be scratch marks are torn down the room, splintering through the dilapidated wallpaper and tearing into the underlay of wood. Thick splinters spit out of the wall. The group can even feel a chill linger in the air, like the night's atmosphere is seeping in. Against one of the walls is a table with several pieces of paper thrown across it.
You want to check out what those papers say? Obviously, got to do something real quick. I'm going to do a bit of redistributing of some of my mass to bump my strength, if that is okay.
Oh, of course. That's got to be a rouse check, right?
It is arouse and
Okay. Rouse me. That'll do it.
oh, that was Durston. I'll take it though. hungry. Okay, so it goes off. So I'm moving a dot around. Make myself very strong.
Thurston, not the dog. What are you doing?
Sorry, other than the table, the papers, what else was there in the room?
Various pots and pans strewn around. Pieces of debris.
I'm not gonna try and pick anything up because I have silence and death on, so I guess it doesn't really matter. I don't want the pots and pans to clank or anything like that. But I'm just gonna look around the debris and whatnot and see if I see anything important.
On the debris.
On the debris and like, because I figure everything is just scattered around the floor, so I'm just kind of walking around, looking at everything that's laying about.
Yeah, that's free. It's just pots, pans, various other debris.
Okay.
Ignoring the table with all the bits of paper behind you that you were asked to investigate.
Well, I thought Aldrich was looking at the papers, so I was looking at other stuff.
No, I said look at the papers. I got something to do, and I had to refocus some of my.
I completely misheard you then. Then yeah, I'm gonna go over the
Nitro's
papers.
experience for the last 2 years.
You guys hear Thurston scream as Aldrich starts beating him for already.
Says something.
Look,
30
sorry,
seconds.
Aldrich
The
misheard
fucking
you.
papers! Looking at the papers.
Yeah, I'm looking at the papers.
That's an inspired idea. I wish I thought of that. Do wits and awareness for me, please, babe.
I swear I heard you say that you were gonna do it. That's why I was like, okay, bye. Wits.
Perfect. Thurston, reluctantly, walks towards the pots and pans. Finally realizing what Aldrich had actually instructed him to do, he stops and turns on his heels towards the table, and inspects the papers strewn over the table. As he looks around, he finds that each piece of paper has the words "Father" or "Dear Father" written upon them, and then scratched out. Some of the scribbling is so hard that it is actually torn through the paper. As he's looking through, the pots, pans, and other debris in the room begin to slowly move, as if whipped up by a strong wind, and then start to fly around the room, each one crashing into the other, and eventually flying at the group. If you would like to dodge, dexterity and athletics, please.
Yes, please.
Okay. Dexterity.
Okay. And Durston, the dog. Okay. The pots and pans fly around, managing to accurately hit each member of the group. They decide to back out as they do, but each having been slightly humiliated and hit in the face with heavy, rusted iron pans. You each take 2 superficial damage, but manage to make it out of the room. Meanwhile, with Alistair, Eveline, and Sir Drake, Alistair slowly walks upstairs and finds one open room. It's a large, clean room with black and white checked tiles on the floor. On almost every single inch of the wall is a stuffed head of some wild animal, mounted and posed.
Is there anything else in the room?
Not at this moment.
I look outside the door and look down the hallway. Is there any other doors?
Nope.
Look out. I look back in. Are there any plaques on the animal heads or anything? Or
Nope.
like to say what they are? What are the heads? What are they specifically?
They're, I mean, you'll recognize them as like deer heads. The occasional
Okay,
badger
so they're
head,
not all
things
bulls
like-
or something. Okay.
No. They're actually animal heads.
I go back out. I go halfway down the stairs and I say, "Can you come look at this?" So you all hear.
Head up the stairs.
Yeah, I'd follow.
I will stay invisible.
You're staying in the hallway?
I'll stay in obfuscate too,
Okay.
so they can't see me when they.
As-
As I see you all, go ahead.
As Eveline and Sir Drake and the obfuscated Alistair enter into the room, they notice that the animal heads turn slowly towards them and watch them as they enter in. It catches each of the group's attention, and they turn to look at them. As they turn to quickly check back on each member of the coterie. Okay, this is where I have to make it up on the spot. Sir Drake glances over to Alistair, who he can see whispering into Sir Drake's sister's ear as he pulls a long, sharp knife that glistens under the moonlight that seeps into the room. Sir Drake watches in disbelief as Alistair, in one fast motion, swipes it across her neck. She reaches up to her throat in a vain attempt to contain the torrent of blood that gushes from her wound as her body drops forward with a thud. Alistair turns to look at Eveline. As he turns his gaze towards the daughter, he notices the locket in her hand and instantly recognizes it as the one he keeps close to him. She drops it to the ground and proceeds to smash it with her heel. Eveline turns to look at Sir Drake and watches as Sir Drake unsheathes his sword and strikes it down at an innocent young woman that Eveline can recognize as her nanny. I need you each. Oh yes. The sword cuts through her flesh. Hang on, like hot butter as her corpse drops to the ground with a wet thump. Yes, question.
I have fortify the inner facade.
Show me fortify the inner facade.
Sure.
Okay.
As well as unswayable mind.
Okay.
Yeah,
So what's your
unswayable mind gives me
fortitude
the
rating?
extra. Yeah, unswayable mind gives me the extra dot. So fortify the inner facade makes my mind like a blank slate.
Yeah. What is your fortitude rating?
4.
Okay, so that's 2. Do resolve and composure for me, please. And add 2 to your result. For a brief moment, what you see fades out of existence, and then fades back in, boiling your blood. That completely enthralls your mind's eye. Alistair, Eveline, Sir Drake, frenzy at difficulty 3, please.
Woohoo! Woohoo! It's not the one I cared about, though.
Wonderful. You are not in frenzy, but you have still seen each do terrible things to each other's touchstones. And at this point, we'll take a quick break. Be right back.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't mind, I say as I walk over to the painting that's off kilter.
Right,
I'm
Thurston,
going-
where you go? Where you doing what I think you're about to do? Of course.
But you just can't leave artwork in such dilapidated states. And I'm gonna straighten
Watch me.
and I'm just gonna go and blow the dust off of it.
The thick layer of dust falls to the ground like wet, heavy snow. Where the dust has been revealed, where the painting has been revealed behind the dust, the cracked painted face of a young woman, no older than 20, even though the painting is old and has been exposed to the elements, is revealed. It still seems apparent that the woman is in the painting is a sickly pale.
And you said that the painting is like cracked from old age.
Mm-hmm. Old age and exposure to the elements.
People just don't know how to take care of art these days, I swear.
Aldrich's looking straight at the ground. Oh, you alright?
I'm fine. It's not the most beautiful
alright.
painting I've ever seen, but the subject within
Well-
is.
Look up at that moment. I was expecting something to happen. Right, you in your professional opinion, what's this painting about?
I mean, it's just a woman sitting there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it might be. I'd assume. Is this like a. It's like a house, right? The building that we're in? I assume it's probably maybe an early tenant of some kind of the building that we're in, but I can't really deduce any kind of meaning from this painting just from its looks, really. I'm sitting there just continuously adjusting it because I can't seem to get it straight.
Listen, I think that makes you a terrible critic. Or to ask one of those artsy folks, they could have went on and on about what it means and the way her hand falls this way represents this and that. I think you're bullshitting me about being an art critic, but it makes me like you more, because if you would have given me an answer like that, it would have been annoying.
Well, if you ask me, as long as the artwork is beautiful, I don't really think the meaning matters.
Well, I could get behind that. I'm gonna scoop up one of these decomposing birds. Just give it a sniff, sort of look at it. See if I
What's
could
an
tell what
awareness for
happened
me,
to them.
please? Or would you prefer intelligence and investigation?
That is a great question, which my answer is doesn't really matter. Wits awareness,
Okay.
aka wits.
Would you like success at cost?
Yeah.
Or would you like a reroll? You can reroll the 1.
No, let's do a success at cost.
Success at cost. Aldrich closely inspects the group of crows and the one in his hand. He can find that the flesh has been torn off parts of the bird, and exposed bones have tooth marks in them that he recognizes as human. As he stares into it, the beast inside of him crawls up and screams for hunger. The overwhelming urge to bite into the bird and drain it of any remaining vitae overwhelms him. As he does so, he attempts to keep the bird's blood deep inside of his system, but the clan of kings will have no such thing, and he ends up hurling it back up alongside other stored vitae. You may increase your hunger by 1, please.
Right. I could tell by the way you were looking that you were about to eat one of these, so I did it for you. Don't do it. Gone bad.
I would have not expected a man of your stature to do something like that.
Listen, you know I'd do anything for you, mate. Including chew an old crow.
I'm sorry you thought you needed to do such a thing.
Right. Now I'm starting to understand your clan a bit better. Alright.
Usually we try and
Ah.
stay away from the ones that are dead and starting to decompose. Maybe freshly dead, maybe. Decomposed, no.
Thurston,
Well, now I know.
wits and awareness, please.
Okay. Wait, that's oops.
Thurston looks over to the pile of crows. From the one that's been lifted up, he can see something glinting in the moonlight. He goes over to inspect it and finds a silver picture locket. Opening up, he finds inside a head portrait of an older, distinguished gentleman. The inscription on the inside of the shell reads, "My daughter, I am always with you."
Well, I might have just either... The one thing I like over crows that rats don't really do is they like collecting shiny things. And you know me, I like shiny things. But this might be a belonging of our subject here, and I gesture to the painting.
Alright, so we've got the painting, we've got that. We've got the paper with, what was it, father written, scratched out quite aggressively. Boy, what's it all mean?
Well, would I have any knowledge about, like, I know we fought some before, and they're not super, they're all somewhat different every time we see them. Do I have any knowledge about whites?
I mean, you would know enough that this is probably not a white, because a white wouldn't sit there and try and write. It's
Okay,
white, not
no,
right.
that's fair. Yeah. No, yeah, I didn't think that the white would have done that. Whoever this woman is, I don't know if maybe she's one of ours, or one of our kind, I should say. And maybe slowly went insane thinking about her father. Maybe, I don't know what this monster they have us here hunting is. I didn't expect it to be a ghost with them describing it as such. But
Well, she might not be, because these birds already have teeth marks on them.
yeah, that's why I'm thinking maybe if she's one of our kind, maybe she stayed here and went mad for a little bit too long and turned into a monster.
All right. You're onto something there. Dustin, have the dog sniff a couple of these crows, and if someone's got their saliva and been biting on them, maybe there's a scent or something you can pick up.
Yeah, that seems
There's no
fair.
other way out of this room, is there?
There's only the one doorway. As Durston wanders off, walks cautiously up to the pile of crows, you hear footsteps coming from a nearby room. You cautiously leave your current room, heading out into the corridor, and make your way slowly to the room where you can hear the noise emanating from. You proceed into the room at the end of the hallway and find it disheveled, torn apart. Broken lamps and splintered tables and chairs have been thrown around the room, and sat in the centre of the debris, like the eye of a storm, is a hunched-over, emaciated figure crying. Their clumped hair lays over their folded arms, and the group can hear the strained breathing of the unknown figure. It stops breathing as it catches its attention of the group, slowly lifts its head, revealing the face of the woman from the painting, but now bearing stitches across her skin. Black and broken teeth in her gaping maw, and flesh now grey of colour. She slowly rises, lifting an emaciated arm towards them, and advances menacingly towards the group, gurgling aggressive sounds, leaving its mouth and its lifted, opening its mouth, and its lifted arm shatters before you, drops off, without phasing the creature. It leaps towards you. Meanwhile,
Oh god, I was right.
why would a white breathe?
Oh god, you made a
Oh,
mistake.
that's a good point. Yeah.
Eveline, Sir Drake, and Alistair are in a state of bewilderment and confusion from what they have just witnessed, but fortunately were able to keep down the beast inside them and did not give in to their vampiric tendencies to frenzy.
Hand goes
I
to
would-
the hilt of my sword, but I don't draw. Look,
I would rush to help Millie.
I reach for my locket.
I'll take a step back and let Eveline. Can I see what Eveline's running towards? No, okay. So,
You're muted, Shiver.
but I'm
You just see a blank floor. Thank you, that was a good test.
yeah.
Eveline tends to the corpse of her nanny. Alistair attempts to find his locket, but finds it bare.
I sort of look over between them both. Look up. Demon, is this your doing?
No. Eventually.
Can't hear it.
And
Alistair, I have two questions for you.
I can answer
How
one.
How you answer them will affect what I do next. Before I gave you the gun, were you carrying anything else?
Yeah, coin.
No.
Do you know anyone named Roger?
No.
So Drake puts the sword, because he's unsheathed it a tiny bit, clicks it back into place.
I drop the gun and run over to where she stomped on the locket. And like drop to my knees.
You'll find pieces of the locket shattered, broken.
Would there be any blood on the?
No. Unless there's blood
I would-
contained in the locket.
There is.
Then yes.
Okay. I just stay there. on my knee.
I would scoop Millie
Look at
into
your
my
sister's body
arms.
from across the room. Go on.
I would scoop Millie into my arms and sing the lullaby to her that she sang to me every night.
Okay. And to everyone else, you just see Eveline picking up thin air and singing to her arms.
I would start rocking back and forth
So-
and just saying how over and over again.
So he's going to look over at the body. He's not done the experiences with the demon, amongst other things, at this point. They've wisened him up. And looking at Eveline and Alistair like doing stuff to Al.
I'd expect that from you, but you.
Slowly just walks away. Yeah. Just slowly walk towards this. Body of the sister. Is she face up, face down, or what? Like what's?
She is face down, with a pool of blood congealing around her.
He's not going to turn her over. Being toyed with.
Shiver.
Just step back.
I go over and pick up the gun and shakingly point it at Eveline.
Okay.
My singing goes from soft and comforting and is getting louder and more aggressive as I am looking at Cedric.
Excellent.
Before they can both react, I'm going to grab both of them by the throat.
Yes.
Particularly Eveline to try and cut off the vocal
I was
cords.
going to say, I need to know how he's grabbing me by the
Anyway.
throat.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Go into
I don't
detail
know-
with
I
that.
don't want anyone hurting anybody.
I never had such a disapproving look from Miss Harts as I do right fucking now.
Well, I mean, that was just a red carpet. I mean, you know.
Anyway, I need to know.
But yeah,
I
I'm
might require a roll
I'm
if I can
attempting
still
to
speak.
disarm. I'm attempting to disarm everybody of their.
This is kind of hard because if you have us by our throats, you have to use your hands to do that. You can't really disarm us.
He knows yoga.
Well, I mean, having me by my throat is disarming. So
I would say as soon as he grabs me,
Yeah.
I squeeze the trigger on the gun. I don't know what I'm pointing at, but I shoot the gun.
As Sir Drake
Well,
grasps the throats of his companions, all three can hear laughter coming from the entry to the room. They turn their heads to look and see someone just poking their head round and quickly run off up the stairs. You take in the sight around you and find yourself in a completely now empty room. The once clean black and white tiles are now covered in dirt, mould and overgrowth. As the figure runs, you can hear it pitter-patter up the stairs, and the words "catch me if you can" echo through the hall.
I assume all the bodies gone.
Everything's gone, yeah.
release my grip.
I reach for the locket under my shirt
It's now there.
and I start laughing.
Look towards Alistair. Are you going to behave, or am I going to have to take that away?
What, this? Oh, you can have it back. This is useless for what we're dealing with right now.
Point taken. I'll take it back from him. Put it into our cup.
This is great. You guys know how I feel all the time. This is it in real time. We get to experience it together. I'm excited.
Well, that makes one of us.
Also, I look at Eveline. When did you learn to steal things?
Stealing is beneath me. It's technically steal.
Suspect
She
luck.
loots.
Well,
No, 6.
I don't think we can catch it, but I feel like we should try.
Play hide and seek then.
I mimic the thing's laugh.
Right now.
Okay. What does it sound like?
I don't know. What did it sound like the first time?
Male laugh.
A laugh is a laugh.
All right.
Okay, nothing happens.
Wait, so we need to play hide and seek with it?
Apparently so. I'm gonna head off in the direction that it went. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Alistair?
I kick the wall and follow him. Stupid room.
And if you really wanted me to do the laugh, I'd have to turn off RTX voice because I would totally cut my microphone.
Fair. The group reached the end of the corridor. Having followed the sound of the footsteps, they walk into a large open room where they can see the back of a man as he sits in the middle of it. As they approach, without turning his head, the man simply states, I see many things. Things that will pass. Things that may pass. Things that won't pass. The problem is knowing which is which.
Feel you.
You do. I hear your voice.
I too can see things.
I know.
It's dead people though.
But you can.
Yes, you know.
Do. You have. You will.
Am I?
Yes.
I look over at Sir Drake. Well, he's dead.
So are you.
Oh, so you're one of us.
Or are you one of me?
Yes.
Or it is the blood that we share, the curse that is ours.
I look at Sir Drake. I look back at him. I look back at Sir Drake. Don't cut this one's head off. And I go over and sit down next to him.
Yes.
Why are you playing tricks on us?
I'm not.
Who was?
I'm not sure. My sight is long, not short. The closer the events are, the harder they are to see. And for
Wait,
reference, this man looks exactly the same as the man who was standing in the doorway that, said, catch me if you can.
Yeah. But wait, at some point in time, you would have seen this moment.
If I was looking. But I wasn't, so I didn't. I see many other things, though.
What do you see right now?
I see a week filled with dark dreams when an ancient arises from its slumber and releases a scream that shatters the minds of all its kin.
I look back at Evelyn and Sir Drake and say, this guy's out of his mind. I don't know what he's saying.
I see a lion and a bull fighting. The bull is fractured, dying. The lion is weak and easily influenced. The cage they live in has many on the outside, reaching in, grabbing at the lion.
I think that has something to do with Mithras.
Tell me, weird
the-
little man.
Who's the lion?
Are you talking to me or
Tell me,
him?
weird little man.
Yeah, which one?
Do you see your own future past this day?
Have you ever noticed how when you see or learn something, particularly moving, it's not until you breathe in or out that it really hits you? Of course, we don't breathe, so what does that mean for us? I wonder if you will breathe when you discover him.
Ooh.
He is not clear. I know only that which I reveal to you now. What comes to pass is up to you.
So you didn't answer my question. Do you see yourself past this day?
How can one see oneself? I see through oneself, not at oneself.
That's not. Yeah. That's not really how
You
that
can kill
works.
him.
No, don't kill him yet.
You can either
I don't
kill
care.
me and break a tradition, not that anyone would know, or you can leave me and meet with the others, and learn about the Electric Father.
What others?
The others with you, the others that aren't with you, but are with you.
What are the others doing right now?
They're in a house.
Are they with anybody?
I see 8 legs.
I would- Okay, I was gonna say, since he's basically talking about using the future, I would try to use premonition in this moment too.
Okay, show me
I don't know if it
premonition.
does anything. Yeah. Mouse.
Jesus Christ.
It's the full thing though.
Yeah, do a rouse check for me, please, and then resolve and all specs, and gain a hunger.
I'm gonna re-roll 2 of those. Is that what?
Are you sure?
And I
Okay.
never bring willpower. 2.
Yeah, that's good enough. Your eyes fill with blood, and for a brief moment, you see outside of the house, and look upon Aldrich, Thurston, and Durston, as the emaciated grey-skinned figure is advancing towards them with only one arm, with ill intent and malice in its eyes. You see it now, don't you? What do you see? I can't see that close. Tell me what you see.
I look back at Sir Drake. Do you remember what Serena looked like?
Vaguely.
So nothing like that, but almost like that, and they're in trouble. This isn't the guy we're after.
This isn't the guy you're after. My name's not Guy.
And then I'll sit there and kind of whisper to myself, "Stupid dog, Bart."
I would like to use Phantom Speaker.
Show me Phantom Speaker. Okay.
To ask Aldrich to scream if he's in trouble.
Okay. Aldrich will absolutely hear this without any kind of problems. Because someone didn't flesh that power out properly.
First time to use this power, and he's like in a battle. He's like, wait.
I mean, what else are you going to use it? And that is copying and pasting exactly what you put in, Shiver.
I know! Aldrich, in the house opposite, with Thurston and Durston, and the weird, crazy monster slowly advances towards him, can suddenly hear Eveline's voice asking him to scream if he is in trouble.
Hell, yells, turn quickly, more scared that Evelyn suddenly walked in than anything. More jumpy about that than this creature.
Right, yeah.
And it's not Alistair this time. It's like,
Yeah. I don't know what's the situation. Are we in trouble? He doesn't think he probably is, but I don't know. I don't know how this battle is.
Would you know what she means, though? Like, not in danger, but
I have no
like,
idea what's going on because I've never heard this before.
Well,
I guess he'll.
Oh, that too, yeah. Because it could be this thing in front of you doing it.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're in a house full of weird illusions and stuff, and then I hear. To me, my nightmare is Evelyn. I'm afraid of yelling my head off at any moment.
Yeah.
Make sure you yell in the right accent.
That's
Yeah.
See, she doesn't know this. She's just trying to help.
funny.
So I don't know.
It's not a two-way communication thing, so you would have to scream loudly enough to...
Yeah, you would have to scream. But
This
he
is
doesn't know
the same
that.
situation as the first time I used Unseen Passage and then came up to talk to somebody.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
for that.
I mean, he doesn't know that word.
Oh, me.
Yeah, his first initial will be just like, oh, and then he'll. Is Thurston also there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just. You stop balking.
Yeah, I think you'd be able to hear the dog's barks over the shit that's going down.
We would be
Didn't
hearing
we
the
hear the
dog bark.
Yeah.
I would stop whispering, jump up, see, I told you, and start running out the door.
Works for me. I'd follow him.
Yeah, which direction is the most direct direction towards barking?
Pretty much the way you came.
No.
Oh, no. You're a Ravnos in disguise, aren't you? You could totally jump out the fucking window. I mean, it's only a second floor.
You're a
Yeah.
rat.
Yeah, you absolutely could.
Here we go. Superhero landing and everything, just out the window.
Do you have soaring
I
leap?
would do that, look back, and be like, I need that.
Do I have what?
A soaring leap.
No.
Then that's going to be dexterity and athletics, please.
Yeah, why not?
Wake on if Evelyn's about to show up.
Hey!
Sir Drake gallantly charges across the landing, shields his face from the splinters of glass, and jumps through, landing with skill and poise upon the wet streets, rushes across the road, and charges into the building. Meanwhile, and I think Sir Drake would probably get there in time for this first round of combat, as this unknown creature advances with menace towards Thurston, Durston, and Aldrich.
Our version of the Three Stooges.
Well, two stooges.
No.
Laura
Yeah, I mean, as soon as the thing approached, I mean, even probably reacting to Evelyn's voice, I mean, I think he would have fought back immediately.
Yep. Strength and brawl for me, please. And all the creature's going to do is kind of dodge. God damn. God damn.
That'll do it.
His intention is using his good hand just to grab this thing by the throat, fully extend his arm, and then lift her off her feet so she can't approach her, anything like that.
That is 6 damage. Udrik grabs the creature by its throat, squeezing it with as much force as he can muster. The creature twitches under his grasp, slowly But surely it passes away and falls to death under his firm, strong grasp.
But I kind of want to.
You said that
That's why I
wrong.
did the grapple. I kind of want to stabilize it because we saw this thing breathing, so I mostly want to hold it up and just sort of subdue it if possible. Oh, I did. I think that was messy though.
No.
No,
was
it's
a regular
critical.
crit.
Oh no, only if I failed. So if I was able to control myself, I would like to not just kill the thing instantly.
You want to do non-lethal
yeah.
damage, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
let you do that.
essentially, yeah. Yeah, I'm mostly just trying to grapple it and hold it, and keep it from hurting us rather than destroying it quite yet.
The creature is completely subdued under Aldrich's fist. It stares at him with anger and frustration in its eyes, and bits of drool seeping down from its lips and onto his hand. It's fading in and out of consciousness.
While he
Well,
has it subdued, I'm gonna try and figure out what this thing is. I'm gonna use.
You
something
recognize
different.
this thing? I'll just sort of hold it up to Thurston. Also, did you hear Eveline?
No- Oh yeah, I was wondering why you changed your voice all of a sudden. It's
No.
it's rare for you to do it like on the spot like that, you know. But yeah, I do want to cast Sense the Beast on this thing.
You don't need to roll for that.
Okay.
I'll let you have that. As you look upon it, you see that it has no beast inside of it. For all intents and purposes, as far as you can tell, it is human, or at the very least mortal.
Something did something really screwed up to that lady in the painting, because I think this is her.
Is the arm... Is she, like, bleeding where the arm fell off, or the arm just, like, fell off like a corpse?
The arm just fell off like a corpse, like she's in a stage of necrosis.
Well, it's... Everything about this is like one of us, or one of those zombie things, but it's not... But why is it breathing? I don't like... Why is it breathing?
Yeah, kind of.
I can make it stop breathing, but I want answers first.
I honestly think it kind of just deserves that. Kind of put it out of it. I mean, as much as we need answers, we were kind of just sent here to get rid of it.
I think at that point,
Eh,
Sir Drake would come barreling in, see the thing, and just try and stab it.
Are you going to try and resist Sir Drake stabbing it, Aldrich?
yeah, if I see Sir Drake running in, sword out. No.
Sir Drake, strength melee. Aldrich. I think dexterity athletics fits. Unless you want to say something else. I'm
Rip
open
her.
to suggestions.
No, it's not. He's not gonna strike out at him over this. He's just gonna, haphazardly try to move her out of the way.
Emphasis on haphazard.
Sir Drake successfully manages to run his blade straight through the body of this weird beast-like creature. It twitches and finally just lets out a
It doesn't say Mithras or anything first.
no. As it dies,
Well, like,
lost my place. Out of the corner of its ragged, dirt-stained clothes, you can see the edge of pristine white paper, seemingly out of place on the monster.
I'll just like not even acknowledging Sir Drake, like barreling in like a ninja. I just look at Aldrich and go, "Well, I guess that answers our question."
Thurston, see what that paper is before he fucking stabs that too. Right, mate, you have a
Yeah.
problem. You love swinging that thing around rather than talking about figuring things out before you swing. Usually, I love that, but in certain situations, it's frustrating.
Clangs a blade off.
In this,
Puts back.
Of all people, I feel like you would be, with a title such as yourself, you know how to read a room. I mean, I know this is a very weird room to come barreling into, but
The dog
oh, we're
barked.
still respectable people. I'll say, just sort of like aggressively gesturing with the corpse.
Yeah. The dog barked. You called for help. I came. I'm not saying the problem.
I thought the
Come-
agreement was when we found the thing, the dog barked.
I come running in. Was I right? Was I right? And I look for it and I say, wow, I was.
I'm running in and go, "Hey, you in trouble?"
It was was that actually you who spoke to me but a
You
moment
got my
ago?
message, yes.
I did not know that was. Where were you? I did not even see you.
Store.
Wait, you said something to him?
I
Yeah,
heard
I
the
heard him
quite
scream
clear.
that he was in trouble. And then the
I
dog barked.
thought the dog could hear me asking for him to bark, and that's why he barked.
While they're all talking and Aldrich's probably like aggressively gesturing with the body, I'm just gonna like reach in and try and grab the piece of paper while they're talking.
Yeah, no worries. The paper is a letter addressed to a Jacqueline. As you read it, you get the impression it's from her father to his daughter. He seems to be saying how sorry he is to have brought Jacqueline back, but expresses how much he missed her, how he needed her, that Jacqueline was all that he had left to remind him of her lost mother. The letter simply ends with, "Though it cost me greatly, and it even cost someone else their life, it was worth it, and I'd do it again in a heartbeat." Included on the letter header is an address in Bloomsbury in the West End. It seems as though the letter was never opened or read.
Well, Aldrich, we want answers, and I think we might be able to find them.
I go over and poke it. What is it?
Your guess is as good as mine. We did see her breathing when we walked in, but her arm fell off. And I mean, well, you can see the state of her.
I look at Sir
She's
Drake.
been eating birds
See?
as well.
I was right. They were kind of like the Samdi, but not really. They fall apart, but they breathe.
Sounds like she was brought back to life.
Yeah, referencing
Yeah.
my 2 dots in the occult. Have I heard of anything like that?
Never.
Necromancy, anything?
Never.
Referencing my
Which-
3 dots in a cult.
Nope.
I wonder if the Samdi would know, since that's kind of their thing. You know, death. And not like death, but like death is.
I mean, we were asked by the Camarilla to go investigate. This has an to follow where the beast came from. We now have an address.
Yeah, but knowing what kind of thing this thing is would better help us fight them later on if we face them.
I don't think. I mean, I could be wrong. You know me. From just the context of this letter, I don't think that it's a group. I think it might just be one person.
Wait, so one person brought himself back to life? It's incredible.
No, one person brought her back to life.
Oh, no, I see what you're saying, but surely they're not the only person ever to. Is my. I mean, clearly,
That we could.
whatever, because, I mean, look at it. It didn't seem like it put up much of a fight, so whatever.
Perhaps we can swing by the docks, drop this off to the Samedi, see if they can give a quick assessment, and then be on our way to this address.
Not a bad idea.
Also, if they know what it is, they would be able to tell us what could make it, and that might help us better prepare on facing whatever we're going to see.
I agree with Alistair. We should be as prepared for what is next as we can be. Yeah, whichever would we have time to do that. I don't know the location of this address in correlation with everything else.
Hands up if you think the ST prepared for this. It's fucking genius,
And
though.
no
isn't
one
it?
raises their hand.
I think you've got enough time. You're a bit close on time. You are a bit close on time. You may not have enough to do both tonight.
I mean, they also could just say, "We need time to look at this," and we'll be like, "Okay, we can't wait."
Oh no, I know what they tell you. It's just whether or not, which you're going to go to first. You can play it safe and go to the address you've been given in Bloomsbury, and then see if there's time afterwards to visit the Samdi.
Question then.
Yes, babe.
Dirk gave us this task. Did he imply that it needed to be done with urgency, or we could span it over a couple nights?
It implied it needs to be done with urgency because it risks a masquerade breach.
I would say then,
right.
with that information, we would wait to go to the Samdi. Would everybody agree?
What we could do, now that we have learned of the good lady's ability, she could go to the Samdi and then simply let us know what they say.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Unescorted?
Drake takes the sword out. They only need to examine it physically, right? Did you say add one arm left?
Yes.
Cuts the arm off, gives it to Evelyn. Get them to take a look at that. Tell us what they say.
I can go with you if you want.
And we can send you and Alistair. That is true. Both of you, we could put this creature in the carriage with you and send you on your way.
You have only got the one carriage, by the way.
We could drop you off and then go over.
Could we hail another carriage?
Not in this area of the city because it's been
Yeah, there's
completely
nothing
cordoned
around.
off.
I need to
But
get
you
a
be able to
can
go
use
out.
the bloody stump of an arm as a weapon. It brings back memories from a familiar video game.
I don't know how big of an area is cordoned off. Will we be able to just go outside of the area,
Yeah.
find
Yeah.
a carriage? So we might have to do a little bit of walking. So yeah, I'll suggest that. We can take a stroll for a few blocks, get the carriage once we get in a better neighborhood. And meanwhile, you'll be on your way.
This isn't my preferred escort, but if I must.
Your sacrifice is much appreciated.
What does that mean?
We'll let her explain it on the way.
Aw.
The Coterie head out onto the stormy streets of the city. Fuck you, roll 20.
Oh, I can hear it now.
I can't.
There it goes.
Okay, I'm not going.
The Coterie now head out to the stormy streets of the city, for some of us, and make their way to the outskirts of the South Bank. Is there anything you wish to discuss on your journey? Carrying
Yeah,
this stump
Alistair
of an
would
arm.
say, it's weird. Dirk mentioned that these storms were because of this situation.
Good point. Maybe
don't-
we're not done.
Maybe not, but have you ever heard of necromancy causing storms? I mean, I haven't heard much of necromancy in general, but that would seem very common if that was one of those give and take things.
I'm a little rusty. What year was Frankenstein written in?
I think it was.
Oh, that's a good
before-
question.
It was pre this for sure.
Yeah,
I got you.
Would have been before.
Yeah,
1823.
Jesus.
nice. I knew it. I knew it was an old book. I just wasn't sure if it was like just before or just after
It was
this.
a popular book, though, so Evelyn
that's
would have
a-
read it.
Yeah.
That's a damn good thing to bring up, though. That's interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I had to do a
Penny
book report on
Dreadfuls
it in
as
high
well.
school.
Give that man an XP point.
I was gonna.
I mean, there was a book I remember reading where a madman used the lightning of a thunderstorm to bring a
What was the madman's
amalgamation of
name?
corpses. It was Frankenstein. He brought a
That book?
amalgamation of corpses back to life. It's been a while since I've read it. I think it was Frankenstein by a
Mary Shelley.
Oh yes, my mother would read me that as a child to scare me, and it worked.
I can
Ah.
understand
Wait.
why.
So in the
There's
book,
werewolves and ghosts. There could be Frankenstein's as well.
but in the book,
Frankenstein's
raising
monster.
the monster caused it to
Wait.
storm, or he just used the storm to raise the monster. Doesn't explain why it's still
Well,
around.
The man's expertise was in biology, not whatever they called
Storms.
storm studies
Meteorology.
back at this time.
Meteorology.
Yeah.
Those are acts
I
of
just-
God.
I just-
How could you study that?
Yeah, that's what I'm at. Is I'm like, does meteorology exist this early?
Called God's wrath.
Early forms of it. Yeah.
In
They'd be like,
ancient
anyway,
time-
it's going to rain
scientific
as it's raining.
times.
Benjamin Franklin would have been. Yeah.
But I mean,
Aldrich
either
doesn't
way,
believe in
whether or not he could control the weather, if someone of our kind is behind this, I do not know the limits of which our powers can go, depending on what blood you carry.
Or a town.
There's but one way to find out.
If some madman wished to raise the dead, using Shelley's novel as inspiration, you only need to find someone else capable of conjuring the weather. This is all hypothesis.
You know what? I bet it's the here.
Everything's the
They're
truth.
always up to something.
Yeah.
Bet.
I look at. Oh, inspector's not here. Never mind.
I think it is fair to say, no matter what it is, we're all in agreement that we should perhaps inquire with this person how they did it rather than stab them. Or is that just me?
I'll be honest, most of the time you say inquire, I assume you mean
That is fair. All right. Shall we split ways then?
Well, okay, be careful. Don't go waving that thing around in public.
Which one of us were you talking to?
Both of you.
I'm not sure where we're going. If anything's going to be waving, it's not going to be that. And I'm not proud to say it. I look at Eveline. You do realize that if we go here and they don't want to see us, at least somebody will want to, and they'll help. I'm sacrificing myself to figure this out.
Noble of you.
Yeah, thanks.
Alistair, you always find a way to come through. I appreciate that.
The coterie split up and each get in a different carriage. Who would like to go first? Would you like to confront the man in Bloomsbury first, or would you like to see the Sandy first?
Ideally, they'd reach the Samdi first.
Yeah.
Based on that information, we'll be able to act.
Eveline and Alistair head towards docks to meet with their contacts in the Samdi. As Alistair exits and approaches one of the warehouses, hand in hand and alongside Eveline, Serena is outside the warehouse, ready to greet them both.
I walk up and bow.
Alistair, Miss Eveline, a pleasure to see you both tonight, and what on earth do you have there?
We were hoping you would help us figure that out.
It's an arm.
It's an arm.
Yeah, well, it came from a thing that was like...
Wouldn't you have the whole body? How we put the whole body in the carriage with you?
No, he cut the arm off.
Yeah, he said he put the whole arm in the carriage for us, but we had to go find a carriage, so it'd be a little weird dragging a body around, like...
No, you guys had the carriage. We're the ones who had to walk off and find it.
That's up.
Yeah, I know he
do
cut
we
the
have
arm off.
body?
I thought Aldrich said just take the whole body.
I can roleplay this. It's okay. Do we have the body?
The body would still be in the carriage, and we would have just brought the arm.
I would say, come here, and walk to the carriage. I just open the door. That thing, but it was breathing. It's not normal for something undead to be breathing.
That's
It
mostly true.
looked like this when it was alive, too, by the way.
You weren't.
You're not there.
Oh, shit, sorry.
That's mostly unusual.
Yeah, the breathing part was really what got us.
Understandable. And what do you expect of me?
Do you know what it is? Because our friends are following a note in its letter to go stop whatever made it.
It
We were hoping to be able
depends.
to let them know.
It could be one of several things. Did it seem aware of its surroundings and its own existence?
I wasn't in the room. I don't think Evelyn
It
was
was
either.
dead when we got there.
I see. That's very little information to go on. I don't tend
That's
to
the-
perform autopsies, you see, so this...
You don't have to.
If it was living and breathing, then it could have been used as something akin to a familiar, created by one of our kind. Although that seems highly doubtful. We don't tend to share such secrets outside of our own.
We have reason to believe that it's tied to the storm, if that helped.
Then it would be very powerful, for lack of a better word, magic that has brought it back to life and reanimated it. We do not...
A mage?
Doubtful. Mages wouldn't defile a corpse, so... And none of
A
our
Tremere?
kind are... Even the Tremere would have very little use of a corpse. They tend to prefer to enslave the living. None of our kind are powerful enough to control the weather either.
Are our friends in danger?
We're kindred, we're always in danger.
Well, I mean, like, in a room with a werewolf danger.
That is extreme danger indeed.
Oh no, that was last week. It's been a week.
But as far as I can tell, there shouldn't be any reason to think a werewolf would do this. They would certainly not desecrate a corpse in such a way.
No, I was just trying to get a scale of, between
Impending
fighting
doom.
a primogen and a werewolf. Where how much danger are they in?
I value and appreciate that you think so highly of me, but I'm afraid I'm unable to discern exactly how much danger you're in from a dead body. Would that I could, of course.
I don't know what to say here. Okay, well, sorry to waste your time.
It's never a waste of time seeing you, Alistair.
I kick the dirt.
We should have brought red roses.
I don't know what that.
Roses mean love.
What? No. Are there flowers on the ground anywhere?
Near the docks? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I didn't think so. If you want to come over and have tea sometime, you're more than welcome.
That's very kind of you, thank you.
I guess we'll go save our friends now.
I wish you the best of luck. And as she turns,
Thank you very much for your help.
you're always most welcome. You have proven yourselves to be quite friendly towards the Sandal. And you notice as she turns and enters into the warehouse, a gush of wind blows up and you can see an exposed back rib cage.
Hot.
So fun. I don't know how to feel about this yet. This is really.
Odric, Sir Drake, and Thurston, and possibly Durston.
Before you
sorry.
switch, I should probably say to them, can I use a phantom speaker on multiple people? They're all
Well,
together.
that'd be too OP.
I think it's just one to
They are
one.
all together. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a one
Well
person.
then, okay. Then I would choose Aldrich to send the message. We don't know what it is.
I've heard an angel's voice, and the angel knows nothing.
Damn it.
Had a quote.
Quote of the week. So Drake's
Quote
gonna
of the
try
week
and kill
is
one on the way
fucking
over.
roll 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, would we be at the address?
Unless there's something you wish to discuss on the carriage ride.
Only Sir Drake will try and heal one on the way over.
Okay, do a rouse check for
Knowing
me,
that there's
please.
about to be some sort of confrontation.
I would
Hey.
ask to be filled in on what they experienced in their house on the way. Assuming you would tell me. Assuming Sir Drake would tell Aldrich everything.
Yeah. So just save a bit
Or maybe
of
not the
time.
visions as much as the person who see past, present, future. and all
Just
that.
basically says what's going on, and it tried to bamboozle us with visions, and then we bumped into a madman, and he was talking about the past and the present and the future and that kind of thing. Get to the end of the story. That was the long and short of it.
Wonder if those things are connected. Not sure how that individual has to do with this. That poor woman and what did the legend say again? Thurston, something about her father.
Yes, she just wrote down father over and over. Are you referring to the locket, or?
Well, there's the locket, the thing you found on her actual person at the end.
Oh, no, this was a letter from her father to her.
Oh,
She never read
Refresh
it.
me. What did it say again? It's out of game. That's what
Um,
my.
Essentially,
Weird.
off the top of my head, it was just like, sorry, I did this to you. I had to kill somebody to do it. I just missed you too much.
And your mother.
The papers in the beginning said "Dear Father." That was scratched out, like the beginning of a letter.
That's a good. I didn't remember the deer part. Thank you.
I'm very curious how this father figure did what he did. I would like to inquire about that before we destroy him.
Well, you know how fathers can be with their daughters.
Of course.
Usually overbearing or utterly dismissive in my experience.
Is there something you'd like to unpack, Cedric?
Sure, let's sit in the car and talk about your
No.
fucking feelings for 40 minutes.
I was just
Yeah,
expecting you to be
if you're asking
dismissive
for
about
Sir
it.
Drake that sort of thing, you're asking the wrong person.
I know.
No.
I know what I'm doing. Yeah. Fair is fair. If it makes you feel any
Or for
better, I
another
wouldn't have
time, of
actually
course.
cared.
And is this address also to a house?
Yes. I think it would be fair to say that you know the area of Bloomsbury is a particularly studious area. Lots of books are published there. It's known for its intellectualism. I think Sir Drake would know this as
You
well.
think
of
we
course.
should we knock or well, let's check the door first. I'll see if the door's open.
It's nice to see you've put the aristocrat away. I need the Aldrich that I met yesterday. This one. It open?
Oh, that was a good time. But honestly, I'm nervous being like this. I know Evelyn could just talk to me at any time. Could she see me too? I don't know what's going on. It's very unnerving.
Yes, now you know
You're
how
gonna-
Alistair feels most of the time.
Yeah, I feel like you're going to be needing more of those kind that are hyped up on that thing you gave me that one time. That was really great, by the way. I'll have to try that again sometime.
Well, it's just medicine. It's good for you. I'm sorry, so the door was or was not locked?
The door is locked.
Oh, that's me then, I guess, since Alistair's not here.
Dexterity and larceny, please.
This is a weird one, because of the, I think it's the Sandman, predator type. But I have a specialty in break-in.
You get a +1. That is
I
not
was just
strange at
asking
all. That
because
absolutely applies.
It's strange because the skill it pertains to is stealth, not larceny.
Oh, you're not using stealth? Then no, you can't use it.
I mean, I would be trying to be quiet if it's locked. I'm just saying that it attaches to the stealth.
You can only apply the
skill.
specialization if you're actually going to roll with the skill as specifically mentioned.
I know, that's why I was saying it was weird. I am picking the lock, but I am trying to be quiet and break into this
Oh,
place.
go on then. Dexterity and stealth with a +1. I'm too nice to you, Thurston.
Way to break him down.
Right, messy crit.
That's
Really?
fine.
That many dice? Really?
That's fine. The door clicks under Thurston's silent attempt at picking the lock that nobody else notices.
It's not my fault.
No, fuck you.
Specialty is weird.
The Coterie proceed into the lavish hallway of the large house, finding it clean but quiet. They walk further into the house, finding a door under the stairs, open, that leads down into a well-lit chamber. They make their way quietly down and find an old man that half the group recognize. Half the group? No, Sir Drake? Who opened the locket with Jacqueline? Who opened Jacqueline's locket?
Oh, that was me and
Okay.
Aldrich.
Okay, perfect. Aldrich and Thurston recognize as a man from the locket, but seemingly a few years older. He sits behind a desk with his head back, seemingly asleep.
Whispered to Thurston.
Thurston.
Sleep, I mean. Then I couldn't even.
Part of that cut out. What'd you say?
Excellent work with that lock, Thurston. I didn't even hear it. You're still asleep.
I try my best.
Right off the bat, Thurston. I should probably actually talk so you can hear me in the microphone. Thurston is do your thing, see if he's one of us.
Yep. So that's the beast. Do you want me to pop it up there again?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you need to roll for that. As far as you can tell,
Okay.
this man has no beast or any kind of supernatural presence about him.
I just
Alright.
shake my head.
I'll take the trench knife out. Place it to his throat. Just hold it there. I want to ask him a few questions. Aldrich, now's the time.
As Sir Drake
before we
approaches
wake him
behind
up-
the man, he will notice that the man is in some sort of wheeled chair.
No, I was wondering when this was going to come up. Because you kept talking about it. So. Interesting.
Thurston, see if you can't. He's at a desk, right?
Yes.
See if you could rifle through his things, make any sense of his notes. Me and Sir Drake are gonna do a bit of interrogation here. I'll just sort of poke his forehead. Excuse me.
The man awakes with a snort and a startle. What the bloody hell are you? What the hell?
Right.
Point to the blade. So, he'll ask the questions. Aldrich?
Right. He loves stabbing people, so please just be cooperative so we don't have to get into this later. We found your daughter.
My Jacqueline.
Right. You mind explaining what's going on with her condition? She's been causing trouble, we think.
I think charisma and intimidation would be suitable for this, with a +1 modifier provided by Sir Drake and his trusty knife.
Charisma intimidation?
Yeah.
I'm gonna rouse this.
Okay. Gain a hunger.
Oh, I have a coercion specialty intimidation. Does that apply
Absolutely.
to this?
Absolutely, that fits because you're using the correct attribute with the roll, so it perfectly fits rather than trying to shoehorn something in.
6 successes.
God damn. Jacqueline was an unwell child. She was taken from me at a young age, and I'd lost her mother. In case you can't see, it's very hard for one to survive. I needed assistance, and I missed my daughter greatly.
You dig her up?
I did no such thing. Look, I can't operate a shovel. I can't even move anything below my waist.
Well, then what'd you do?
Same roll again, please. Charisma intimidation.
Where else again? Ooh, okay, maybe I should stop doing that. Do I apply these same bonuses?
Absolutely.
Six again.
Wonderful. I was approached by some fellows of a very exclusive club. They offered me assistance in exchange for loyalty. I readily agreed, as was explained to me. They agreed to bring her back despite her condition, shall we say, of being dead. They said it was no problem, that death is just a change that can be easily remedied. Unfortunately, they were successful. She was physically brought back, but mentally she was broken. We met here, and she abandoned me in this room. I've been stuck here for days, surviving on rats and alcohol. My head is killing me. But I'm sure the next time will be more successful. We shall keep trying and trying until her mind is restored as well as her body.
When you say we try, you sounds like you didn't really do anything, and they did all the work.
They performed the ceremony, as I understand it. I merely must devote my life and my craft to their cause. A small price to pay.
What is your craft?
I am an inventor, sir. Have you heard of electricity?
I have, yeah.
I find ways that we may use this remarkable energy for the benefit of mankind and now for my fellows.
Oh, and who are these fellows? What do they call themselves?
They seem to have no particular name, or at least no name that I was made aware of. They simply say they are followers of Mithra.
Right. Those fellows don't have names themselves either.
Do you mean like Patrick, Larry?
Right. Are those examples of names, or are those their names?
Those are just random names.
All right. Where do you meet them? Where does the ceremony take place? Where did all this happen? Where you brought your daughter back?
I don't think there's any point in making you roll again. I think that'll be fine. I was not allowed to be at the ceremony itself. They said it would have been difficult for me to attend. I was unsure precisely what they meant, but they gestured towards my chair. And as you can see, being stuck here has been very detrimental.
All right. Drake, something's on your mind. Go ahead.
If I were to open your throat, do you think they would bring you
No.
back? Are you that important?
I doubt it. The ceremony must be specifically asked for. It calls for a life for a life. There's also how it worked out for my Jacqueline.
You were responsible for taking the life of another.
I agreed to the deal.
Knowing what it would entail.
I was told it would be a life for a life.
Yes, then.
Tell me, sir, do you use a gun as well as a knife?
What difference would that make?
Please, humor me.
I know my way around fire.
And have you killed with a firearm?
I have.
Then, are you not also responsible for the deaths of people, or is it the bullet that killed them?
Don't try to moralize with me.
Moralize, sir? Look at me. I'm a cripple in my own house. I have no one to look after me. My dear sweet wife has passed. My daughter has passed. And all it took was for me to be locked away here for several days. You call this life?
So we help you out with your situation then. If we do this, well, I'll turn to Drake. I mean, we already know who this is then, right? Same people we just ran away from.
At least you can run.
Oh, pointing to the same place, yes. The evidence. You! Point back towards the guy in the chair. Do you know anything else that we might consider useful? Anything at all? I would really be scouring the depths of your memory now if I were you.
I love my daughter, sir, and I love to live. I cannot have one without the other.
Oh, I might be able to help you out with that actually, with your daughter and whatnot. But how are you with using electricity and let's say some sort of theatrical production?
A theatrical production? Tell me, sir, what do you have in mind? This sounds an interesting premise.
Well, I don't know. I know jack all about electricity, but I mean, what I know about it, it's entertaining stuff. Yeah, we've got ideas. We've got a lot of ideas. I need other people to sort them out, though. All right, we could get you out of here, but you're gonna have to work for us and not them anymore.
I fear that might not be possible. They are exceedingly powerful.
Why you say that?
Destroy him, kindred, now, or you yourself shall be obliterated.
I did not hear anything.
Kill him or we die.
You heard Endymion's voice shatter through your skull, compelling you to kill him. You can fight it, or you can just go with it.
Didn't have to.
Fight it.
Do a willpower check for me, please. You attempt to go against Endymion's will. Unfortunately, his will is far greater than yours and overpowers you. The compulsion to terminate this creature in front of you overwhelms you. You can look at Sir Drake, and you see the same look in his eye, knowing that you are unable to fight the will of Endymion.
I don't think, to be fair, because if Endymion can read us like I think he can, he wouldn't have had to compel me.
You would still have heard the voice regardless.
Yeah. Yeah.
if compelled in this way, I think in the split second it took Aldrich to try to push back against this, his heavy hand would have just reached out and just punched through this guy's head, assuming he's a frail individual. Just one heavy hammer fist might do him in.
Yes.
This is what it
Aldrich's
takes
fist.
for you to put a fist through a guy's face? Is a demon making you? You
Aldrich's fist disappears through the man's skull, splintering it into many small pieces, with bits of brain, skull, eyeball, and flesh exploding across the room.
Because I didn't want to interrupt.
What do you mean?
I didn't want to interrupt their interrogation scene, but while they were doing that, I would have been looking over the guy's desk and notes and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, you won't find anything that particularly stands out. It's all notes and things that doesn't interest you on usages, electricity, ways to produce it.
As soon as I'm just searching over his stuff, and I just hear a loud splat, and I go, oh,
You would have also heard the demon's voice, of course.
oh, that's true. Yeah. Well, I'm glad this is taken care of. Sadly, I didn't find anything like you asked me to. But here, would you? And I hand you a handkerchief.
I appreciate that. I don't know why it makes us do these things. I mean, I was going to do it, but I really wanted to make a point of doing it because I wanted to do it, not because he wanted me to do it. Now I've got my hand all dirty and fuck all.
I agree.
Drake, now you couldn't be faster with your blade then. You could wipe that thing off easy.
You started talking about the business, and I didn't want to antagonize you by killing him, even though I did too.
No, I was just having a go with him. I don't think it would have worked out.
He traded the lives of others for whatever that thing was that we saw before. His daughter.
Well, I suppose, all things considered, we've contained the incident for now. I'm not sure how much further we're actually supposed to get in with that other group, too. You think we have enough information just to report back, see what they want us to do next?
I think that's essentially what Dirk wanted us to do.
Considering the name being thrown around, I think it's imprudent we do so.
All right. Eveline. Oh shit. Excuse me, Miss. I can't do it. I can't flip back and forth like that. I hate that she's
So I
in
don't know
my
if she
head.
can hear you anyway.
No, she can't. But I don't know.
He doesn't
That's
know that,
fine.
does it?
That's fine.
All right, let's go get the others and meet at Elysium.
Yeah. Drake leaves, picking bits of brain matter off of his, because he would have been pretty close. He was holding a knife to him when it happened, so it's kind of. He walks back to the carriage.
After Sir Drake picks his brains, the group head into the carriage and out towards Elysium. Is there anything you wish to talk about on the carriage ride, or just arrive at Elysium and meet up with the others?
Just that it's like being front row at a Gallagher concert.
Yeah, I'll take the opportunity to heal another one on the way, if that's all right, storyteller.
Oh,
Rouse
shoot.
check for me, please.
Yeah, I'll heal as well. I got a pain
Rouse check
thrown
for
in
me
my
as well,
hand
please.
earlier.
I've been quite lucky with that this evening.
Oh,
Wonderful.
here we go.
You may both heal one. And you head towards Elysium. Entering out of the carriage, and you note that the storm has abated for now. The night is clear, and apparently there is no music playing tonight in Elysium because fuck Roll20, and meet with the remainder of the coterie.
Do you think we would have been able to stop by for me to change my shoes on the way to Elysium?
Yeah. Knowing you probably packed them somewhere where you could easily and quickly access them anyway.
Like we're in the personal carrier, so there's probably like a little box with extra clothes for you in it or some shit.
No, we were in the Camarilla carriage.
Oh, were we? Okay.
Won't stop Eveline.
It stopped raining, so I have to take the galoshes off. And
So when you walk up, I'll be like, so turns out we probably need to get more information from you guys before we start taking dead bodies over there, because they asked some specific things that we couldn't answer because we weren't there when it was alive.
Well,
No matter, it's worth a try.
We kind of
We,
pointed in the right direction anyway, so.
Why do you look so sad, Drake?
Our encounter from the other evening. The poor crucified figure. It appears they're involved in this as well.
Meanwhile, I've taken a handkerchief out and I'm wiping him off.
And Cedric will basically tell them everything that happened in the same day.
I will lean into Alistair, as I always see him leaning into other people. I'm going to do like the same lean.
Yeah.
I think he is upset because I punched the man before he could stab him.
I lean back. Yeah, I wouldn't let him kill the Malk earlier either. Look how sad he looks.
Yeah, he is.
I didn't get to stab him.
So Batman's sad.
I haven't killed anyone tonight, and I'm very annoyed.
But I'm confused. I mean, okay. So, sure, those people sacrificed the guy hanging up and raised the girl from the dead. That doesn't explain the furry beasts that were in there that killed everybody that didn't get out.
Do werewolves know magic?
I don't know. Are you one?
Great minds think alike.
Like, is this a 4D? Was chess invented by then? 4D chess play?
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
I think chess is possibly one of the oldest games on the planet.
No, the thing is, I say things.
The
So she was
fourth
like, you get a
dimension
pass because you know the
invented,
future. You know, you're Malk premonition. Anyways, is it a 4D chess play where the werewolves are controlling this stuff?
Yeah, so far it seems that way.
Isn't that dangerous?
They don't like us. And they seemed to throw Mithras's name around pretty openly. Perhaps it's disinformation. Draw enough eyes to London. Say Mithras's name enough times and hope that, I don't know, some sort of second inquisition occurs or something to that effect.
Yeah, but also creating fear within the kind, because you promise a thing and then the thing occurs and it's that.
That seems more likely. I cannot imagine another Inquisition, especially in London.
I know that we are trying to connect the group from last week to what this group might be, but I have one thing that I remember that kind of squashes that theory. They hated everything supernatural.
That's my point. If you're going to remove someone as powerful as Mithras, any one member of our kind wouldn't be able to do it.
Did they want to remove him, though, or did they worship him? Not fully understanding what he is.
I think it's more. You commit a terrible atrocity, and you claim that it's in the name of who exactly? That name starts circulating, and eventually, someone will come looking for retaliation.
Surely
No.
he knows what's going on.
I would think if he
Yeah,
did, he would quash it very quickly.
yes. I understand where you're coming from. It is quite confusing what the motives of that group is. But I'm saying, why would a group that goes around killing our kind for being supernatural be also bringing things back to life?
Hypocrites everywhere.
So as much discontent as possible amongst as many people as possible. Kind, kindred, lupine, and whatever else lay out there. In an effort to bring the prince down.
Well,
Well,
whatever's
should we
going
report
on,
this? Yes, and let them figure it out. Seems this is officially above our station now.
Agreed.
it's
Spent
got
too
my
much
head
time
done
thinking
in,
about it.
Yeah.
And as your conversation lulls, Dirk makes his way over to you and sits down at the head of the table. I see the storms have passed for now. I take it you were successful in your task.
Extremely so.
Yeah. Yes.
Excellent. Did you learn what created these storms in the first place?
Well, apparently, Mithras.
Do go on.
He's the one whose name's being thrown round. Ultimately, everybody involved is doing it in service of him. I want to be very forthright here and say all of those sitting here at the table don't believe that for a second. It makes no sense. And how that fits together is... Well, Dirk, quite frankly, I leave it to you.
Intriguing. The Tremere have mentioned and made note that there are several cults operating within the city. It would be likely, nay possible, that one of these cults would usurp the name of our Lord in order to attract certain kinds of folk. It would be easy to operate under a cloak of shadows that's already under a cloak of shadows.
Have we told him about the werewolves?
Not explicitly yet, no.
We did run into such cults last week, very close to morning. Luckily, I think that they were mostly dealt with by the time we left. Until we entered, they explained their motives to us a bit. And when I tried to rouse a bit of my blood to do some investigating, I think I tipped off a few lupine that were hiding among the crowd.
Where was this?
I don't remember where it was, exactly where it was,
Limehouse.
but I'll tell them.
Yeah. The Camarilla were forced to cover up a masquerade breach last week in that same area. It seemed as though 13 members of the general public were mauled to death by these lupine. The lupine were not found. To have lupine so inside of the city is rare. It is possible that they might be working with remnants of the Sabbat that are left over.
Only 13 people. It's impressive.
Yeah,
What's
if
impressive
I
was the
remember.
fact that we were able to piece together 13 bodies from what was left.
Yes.
I mean, fair. It was just I know that we can run fast. I didn't think it kind could run that fast. Only 13, huh?
You'd be surprised how slippery they can be when their adrenaline is pumping through their body. It can be quite troublesome trying to catch one. Not as troublesome as feeding in Elysium, though. Right, Thurston?
Indeed. Luckily, I've not had many incidents as of late.
I mean, he's not the only one.
Yeah,
Elbow him in the ribs.
Yeah, I don't gesture or say anything when he says that, but my eyes dart evilly.
Yeah.
You've done excellent work tonight. I would expect no less.
Question: have we seen Pandora at all earlier or now?
No.
There. Have you seen Pandora?
Who?
Okay.
Quiet one sat over there watching her magician friend.
Oh, the one that keeps the human pet. She has been absent from Elysium for a few nights.
Clarify, Dirk's Venture, right? Not Venture, Lasombra, right?
Correct.
I wouldn't push it anymore. Could give two fucks about a Toreador.
I shall take everything you have told me and report it back along the tower. No doubt this will reach Mithras's ears personally. You should also, on a lighter note, prepare yourselves. For next month, there shall be a ball. Eveline, we may require your services.
It would be my honor.
Can I pick the
Excellent.
song?
No.
Oh.
Tell me later.
Thurston, this will be a ball being held by people. I use the term people loosely. Of your blood. Cleopatra's
Look
will
up
be
and
coming
see
to
a
the
little bit.
city. As I understand it, the Harpy has already told you of this and forewarned you.
Oh yes, she did.
Do not show me up.
Never think of it.
Remember that your actions reflect on me.
Is this one of them balls where we could wear one of those fancy masks?
If you so wish.
I look at
If
Thurston.
you're in
That
need
might
of
be an
suitable
option.
clothing, you should communicate to the Harpy. She owns a number of businesses that will be able to supply you with suitable clothing.
Oh, I could get a new dress.
You were upset the one time we got her to recommend to go somewhere for clothes that you couldn't get ruined. But now it's okay.
They are quite lovely boots, though, in my humble opinion.
Very useful.
They're quite. They're out in the carriage.
I'm thrilled to hear this conversation.
Sorry, it's the least we could do is include you into our small business after we just risked our lives for you. Thank you.
You understand the Masquerade, of course, protects us all. You were charged with a task by the Camarilla. Had you refused the task, you would simply have been put down like the rabid animal you are.
He meant no offense. It's a sense of humor. It is actually quite clever once you're able to read beneath the lines.
I'll take your word for it.
I'm sure you have other business to get to, though. I thank you for allowing us to do another task for the tower. The tower.
The pleasure is mine. You would learn much from this one lunatic. He knows his place. I bid you all good night. Be swift, for the sun approaches quickly. And he just fucks off. He forks off.
Lady Eveline, it seems I may be in need of your services sooner to prepare me for this ball.
It would be my pleasure.
Is there anything else we need to do before calling it a night?
I have a quick telegram to send. I would order flowers for Serena. Roses. And sign Alistair's name on them.
I love it.
Oh, that's great. Not sure how
Literally
I
gonna
feel about
smash.
this. Not sure how I'm gonna.
She's trying to help.
That's too
Oh no,
bad.
I love it. Yeah.
Any last minute actions
Loves
from anyone
to.
else, or would you like to retire for the night?
No,
Sleep with my ghost.
Okay. Aldrich, Eveline, Sir Drake, Thurston. You're going to the house in Whitechapel.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay, good.
It is
I was
so
like,
strong you are
rolling
no longer
willpower
able to
for no
resist
reason.
the call. Alistair is able to retire to his haven for the night. And with that, that is the end of this week's London by Gaslight. So a big thank you to our players and you for watching. Thurston, who the fuck are you and where can we fucking find you?
I'm NitroTypeAt. You can find me anywhere at NitroTypeAt. All one word.
Anywhere type
Twitter,
ads are sold.
Twitch. Yeah, anywhere TypeAts are sold. I don't think you want to buy one of those. Shiv, we aren't doing another stream tomorrow. I don't want to say that I am because I always say I'm going to and then I don't. And then
The feels. I feel you.
yeah. And I've got a couple other things, but I'll let Mark talk about those when it gets around to him.
Cool.
Sir Drake, who are you and where can we find you?
Mark, the DM over at the Roulette Club. We are running 2 games this weekend, as Nitro just alluded to. Saturday is going to be our usual D&D. With both Nitro and Shiv are playing, and they are both also playing in Friday. Both games are 10:30 UTC, GMT, what have you. Friday, we're running a one-shot of Delta Green, which is like Call of Cthulhu meets the X-Files. We're going to be playing that. Should be good. The adventure I've read that I'm going to be running is dark as fuck. So I very rarely say this, but definitely content warning for some dark shit. Yeah,
That's exciting.
sensitive topics. So,
Some
yeah,
inappropriate
we'll be
puns to
doing that.
make.
Oh yeah,
Oh, gosh.
more than. And then week after is WrestleMania weekend, and I think we're running. We'll be back here on Wednesday for Victorian Vampire, and then Thursday night we're doing an NXT watch along. Friday we'll be running D&D. Saturday we'll be Saturday and Sunday we'll be doing both nights of WrestleMania as well. So I'm not gonna
Busy.
sleep for a week. Yeah.
Mhm.
Very busy. Talking of busy, Aldrich, who are you and where can we find you?
Mm.
I'm Bully. I run things over at Table Goth. What do we have going on now? Go to our YouTube. Our YouTube this weekend, we're going to be putting up a prologue for our final Coterie member in our Cult of the Blood Gods game. And we will now be starting next week because of some scheduling stuff, but it's okay. So next Thursday over at the Onyx Path, we'll be kicking off Cults of the Blood Gods. This weekend, we'll put out on our YouTube channel the final prologue so you could get to see the characters a couple decades or so before our current events. We're also just finished editing our No Kindred Hungry that Shane Easton was a storyteller for. And we had Alex Ward playing with us. That'll be up on our YouTube this weekend. So see that stuff if you didn't see it the first time around.
Excellent. Alistair, who are you and where can we find you?
Hi, I'm Tina. I'm here.
Short and sweet. Eveline, who are you and where can we find you?
I am Ms. Hearts. You can find me everywhere: Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all that as Ms. Hearts. You can also find me on Tuesdays on the Base Radio at 7 p.m. Central Time for I Want My 80s show. And finally, if you need any graphic design services or promotional products, t-shirts, hats, mugs, that sort of thing, go to gibopromo.com.
Excellent. Anyone got a suggestion on who we can raid?
Twitch open up.
Jason Charles Miller's playing music. Onyx Path's doing Scion. About it.
Dork Tales is on, playing D&D.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Raid the Onyx Path. Because good old Bully. So thank you all for coming. We'll see you next week, hopefully. Don't go hungry. It's the best I got. And of course, bollocking bollocks. It helps if I actually click on the thing. We can't go until the most beautiful, sexy, gorgeous member of the current cast says the line. So, Tina, if you could, please.
Make sure you show up next week. Something crazy might happen. Have a good night.
Doesn't get much better than that, yeah.
I would have loved it if you were just like, I found a gun.
Yeah, I didn't find one though. I